shadows of the void where darkness reigns stands the Mordian 50th, where courage remains, with last guns gleaming and hearts of steel. They march into battle. Deal. For Mordian's honor, they raise their cry against the Tau's fury. They'll never die. With discipline and valor, they'll stand tall. The Mordian 50th, answering the Emperor's call. Through the fire and smoke, they press on, facing Vaccinal's horde until the dawn. With every volley, they hold the line. Their determination, an unbreakable sign. For Mordian's honor, they raise their cry against the Tau's fury. They'll never die. With discipline and valor, they'll stand tall. The Mordian 50th, answering the Emperor's call. Though the enemy's technology may be advanced, the Mordian spirit will never be chanced. With faith in the Emperor, they fight as one.
Ready to
Their
serve.
bravery shining brighter than the sun. For Mordian's honor, they raise their cry against the Tau's fury. They'll never die. With discipline and valor, they'll stand tall. The Mordian 50th, answering the Emperor's call. So let their story be told through the ages to come, of the Mordian 50th rifles and of the wars that they have won.
Hello again and welcome to another Modern Glory live stream. And I don't mean to alarm you, but I've got a big package. Matron. Sadly, not in that way. F in the chat for Mrs. Mordian. But I genuinely have a big package. And it was a surprise. Oh, I have had a little sneak peek. Honestly, this thing showed up at my door and I was like, what the fuck is this? I haven't ordered anything. I'm not to give too much away. But apparently, there are great rewards for ball washing. Holy shit, boys. I think we are going to be blowing some people's nips off tonight. Woo! Oh, shit, man. Get the sponges out. Get the loofahs out, get the sponges out, get the extra sudsy bubble bath out. We are going to be doing some ball washing leads to more ball washing, and we are going to be washing some balls tonight. My God, honestly, you guys are going to shit when you see this stuff. So, quick heads up though, I will say, some of you are very surprised that I've started the stream on time. The reason why I've started the stream on time is because I meant to start the stream early, but I am actually late to starting it early. So I'm at a big Bolt Action Battle of the Bulge event tomorrow. I'm going to be making an after action report of it. So I'm only going to be streaming for like 2 to 3 hours tonight. It's going to be a quick one. So I figured we'd just basically keep it 2 to 3 hour long stream, do a bit of just chatting as we always do, and all that kind of stuff. But basically open the box and take a look at what is in it. All right, there you go. And so it'll kind of be like part stream, part just like 2 hour long, like video, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, so you weren't actually on time. No, I wasn't actually on time. Well, there you go. But with all, big package, but a quick one. It's big, but apparently it suffers from premature ejaculation. On time and a short stream. Who is this Skinwalker? I know. All right. But with all of that said, now let's get into the stream tonight. And it's popping off. We've had a lot of people join early, which is amazing. So big welcome to all of you. And you know what that means? It's time for our traditions. Traditions are very important on the Mordian Glory channel. Traditions are what separates us from the renegades, the heretics, the traitors, and what make us the Emperor's true finest. Oh, I can't say that. I've given too much away. Fuck it. I'll give you guys a hint. His Triarii. Stand up and be counted. It's time for roll call, baby. Who is in the stream tonight? Who is ready to rock out with their short sword out? Let's see who we've got in the stream. All right. We've got Spriggs and Helda B&E, Nostalgia Vivek, Patrick H. We've got Cyrillic Dude, Zello, Wolf, Mad Larkin, Court Jen, Hardcover Pilot, Cavasius, Macon, Warpforge, Patrick H, Airborne 342, Eric 217, Sergeant Sharp, Zeb Taylor, High Marshal Bungle, Average White Shark, Ed Weird, and we've got Test to Mike, and The Game Maker, and The Lower Decks, and Roadkill, and Russell W, and Samuel Phoenix, and we've also got Sammy Wilson and Princess Drusus and Dante and Rolando Rattus and Mark Coyle and David Stanford and Squidfits and RTRT and Chicken Detonator and Navy Kez, and we've got Tiklo and Nope Dash Maybe, and we've got David D. Davidson, which is still one of my favourite names, Nick the Salamander, Samuel Phoenix, Buckethead, Elijah, Lazy Polar Bear, Hargath, and we've got Zukov, and we've got Green Knight, and Ozroth, and Punchbowl, and Zach, and Sir Newbie, and Cosmic, and Sadis, and Mr. J. Lanky, and Margaret Talbotland, and Traven, and Bob M, and J. Bond, and Nostalgia Vivek, Okayist, Hobbyist, Dexter Gaming Corner, Skid Row Love, Emming, Sneaky Git, Ed Bailey, hey! And Matthew Edwards, hey! There we are. Welcome. Thank you to all of you crazy, beautiful bastards for joining today's box opening stream, which is actually going to be, some pretty. I think, unironically, we're probably going to have a hype stream today. I'm not just, you know how I always go like, oh, riveting content. I think it actually will be riveting today. I think it will be. We got B7 as here as well. Amazing. Big box fan. I love big boxes and I cannot lie. Holy shit. So yeah, big welcome to all of you guys. I hope you guys are excited for the hype stream. Whilst I've got your attention, if I could go ahead and ask you to like the stream and subscribe. Now, I know you guys hear it all the time with YouTubers and all that kind of stuff. And normally I don't make a big deal out of it, but I'm making a big deal about the whole liking and subscribing thing. I'm embracing the cringe because I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've fallen out of the YouTube algorithm a bit. And so all that extra interactivity, liking, subscribing actually does help. It's not just like cringe, just normal shit. It actually really helps. So big thank you to all of you that do go ahead and like and subscribe. It is actually a massive help at the moment. So thank you. Also, everyone who chats away and all that kind of good shit. I also want to say a big thank you to all of you who have gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, coming in with all of the super chats and the member flexes and the gifted memberships and all of that good stuff. And let's take a moment now to go through and show our love and appreciation and gratitude and respect for those people that have gone above and beyond the Call of Duty with the super chats. Start off, we've got Russell W coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, sir, for your support. Thank you for doing your part. And thank you for keeping us fresh stocked with new conscripts. I also want to say a big thank you to David Stanford. Thank you for 13 months. X-Force, baby. What's in the box? You are going to find out. And let me tell you, there's a lot. And it's not all just for one game system. It's a lot, boys. So we're going to be doing some building on the stream tonight just to show off some of the shit that we've got our hands on. You know, some of it, I think there's one particular item. I think a lot of it's going to get people hyped. But I think there's going to be one particular item in this box set, which I was not expecting, which is going to make a lot of people very jealous. And I am going to be a smug bastard when I show it off. So stick around. There's some big shit coming in. All right. I want to say a big thank you next to Hardcover Pilot. Hardcover Pilot, thank you very much for the Giga Chat. Yes, thank you for the Giga Chat, mate. Honestly, the only reason I hate Warlord streams is because I desperately wish there was a community for it in my area. Bro, I totally get it, man. It's crazy. Like, we were literally talking about this last night. I don't know if you caught the stream, if you're lurking or something, man. Don't worry if you weren't. It's going to be coming out as a stream highlight. But we were literally talking. It probably won't be till next Wednesday, though. But we were literally talking about this last night. How it's really interesting how the sort of criticism around sort of K47 and sort of not criticism is the correct word, like derision, sort of like smearing, that's like sort of change, you know, sort of the negativity, I would say, that's around sort of K47 by a somewhat extension about Warlord has kind of changed from, oh, look at K47, all the models are made out of like metal and resin and lol, what even is this game kind of thing, you know, sort of like that sort of, I don't know, people sort of looking down on it. And now the number one, like, negativity, when doing air quotes of reason, that I hear about, like K47 and to a certain extent, like I said, Warlord as an extension, is people saying exactly what you've just said, which is, I wish I could play K47. I wish I could play a Warlord game, but I just don't have anyone to play it with. And that's like a backhanded compliment in a big sort of way, right? So Hardcover, I absolutely get it, man. And you know what's kind of crazy? I reckon there's loads. I think there's loads of K47, loads of bot action, loads of Warlord games, like communities out there, but they're just like, they're like underground essentially, or they're like sleeper agents that need to be like activated. Like either like they exist, but people are like don't know they exist because they're not looking for them. Or it's because there's a bunch of people in your area that do want to play it. They're just waiting for somebody to take the first step forward. So I would say, like, you know, I don't know what your local situation is like, but I will tell you this. I would say, you know, maybe it might not be possible with, you know, the 11th edition hype being out there, but a lot of people are pretty, you know, disappointed in what's been shown off for 11th edition so far. So there might be an opportunity for you to say, hey, guys, you know, I'm kind of interested in this. Anyone else interested? And you might be able to start a community. Maybe you need to be the leader rather than a follower. I'm just saying, Hardcover. I'm just saying. Maybe you need to be the change you want to see. Maybe. But on a more serious note, like, well, that is kind of a serious note, but on a more chill note, I should say. Look, I do think I'm very, very fortunate to have not one, not two, but like three or four Warlord communities in my local area, and it gives me. I do appreciate I'm in a very privileged position for that because I know that's not usual. So yeah, I do sympathize 100%, man. I do. What do we got next? Marold, my boy. Marold, thank you for the gifted membership, sir. Thank you for your support. And as always, Maud, I raise my glass to you because you are an officer, a gentleman, a scholar, a good sir, a kind sir, and dare I say it, a goddamn hero. There we are. There we are. Thank you so much, man. I want to say thank you next to Ed Bailey. Thank you so much for Super Chat. I can attest to Timmy's gigantic package. Oh, my. And he's a god in the bedroom. I think maybe you experienced those things and then you woke up. After that, hype, rattle the tin cup, or get a good time. Well, I tell you what, Ed Belly, I will rattle the tin cup, and I'm gonna say, if any of look, when I start showing off what's in this big package, all right, if any of you see it, get inspired by it, I think it's really fucking cool, and want to get your hands on it, then all I'd say is there's an affiliate link to Warlord Games down in the description below. Check it out, and I would appreciate it if you used it. That's it. Not going to make a big deal out of it, but if you see something you like, there's the link. All right. What do we got next? Cosmic Drew. Cosmic Drew, thank you for the super chat, man. Boy, you're early. Just finished my stream. Accomplished a lot. Checking on stream discussion real quick. Also, like I promised, I painted your bust. Hail the green vaults. Fuck's sake. Right, let's have a look. Hey, Fracker number one, how dare you start early? You're supposed to start at 3:32 or 30 minutes early. Also, I just finished my stream and I got them all warmed up for you. Thank you, Cosmic. I appreciate it. Behold the work that we accomplished. I made your bust as the greatest member of the Green Vaults and the pusher of the 1940s ideals. Nah, Cosmic, stop it. There's actually nothing for 1940s Hugo Boss enthusiasts in the package. All right, so that's not even true. All right. Oh, well. It depends how much Instagram you consume. Maybe. Anyway. Turning the right and now the Republic would have noted if it wasn't under your wise leadership. Also, behold the Bounds Guard. And I built this truck and these two statues of the young Baron and his wife. It was a very comforting stream. I got the models painted and baked just in time for your stream. But you could have told me you were going to end your stream early, so I could have filled the void. Sorry, Cosmic. I am starting on time today, which is basically considered early. But these guys are great, man. I mean, I really wish you didn't have a bust of me as a Green Vault officer, but there you are. Nice. Oh, hey, the flags come out all right, bro. That's cool as fuck. Okay. Either that's a small Eisenhower model, or that is a very big titty officer model. Oh, my days. There you go. That's cool that you sort of put an armored cab on the truck. Nice, Cosmic. Looking good, bro. Looking good. And thank you for warming the crowd up for me, mate, as always. What do we got next? Sir Newbie, thank you for the super chat. Basilisk fully magnetized weapons in stream discussion. Let's have a look. Basilisk guns are finally done with the magnets. All 4 weapons can now be used. I might even get second one for the vibes. Also got myself a game tracker. No more forgetting what the spare dice on the side. Only after using them in a roll and going, what the fuck score was I on? That's fair enough. Hey, that looks pretty cool, bro. Nice. That's cool as fuck. Yeah, I love the sci-fi sort of priest. They're sort of Imperial Guard sort of priest / sort of sexton sort of model. That's cool as fuck, man. Hey, it looks really good, man. I can't wait to see it all painted up. Also, that's kind of a cool little command point tracker. Yeah, I love that sort of, like, obviously you've got like apps and stuff you can use, but there is something nice about having that more tactile approach. It's like the difference between reading a book and watching an iPad kind of thing. There's something nice about scrolling the wheel rather than just like tapping the screen. So yeah, I like it, man. I like it. That's really cool. And it's nicely themed and everything as well. Nice. What do we got next? David D. Davidson, thank you for super chat. I bet you can't guess what the D stands for. Hint, it starts with a D. I mean, either it's going to be something ironic like it's not David, or it's going to be absolutely committing to the bit and it being David. Davidson. Both would be very, very funny. What do we got next? A big thank you to Fatboy Butcher. Thank you for super chat, man. You know you're not going to bed before 2, right? Well, I need to go to bed early tonight. I've got to be up. I'm playing a big Battle of the Bulge game tomorrow. I don't know if Spriggs is in the chat. I think he is. He said he was at Element right now. Spriggs, I never checked. Is it a 2-day or is it a 1-day event? It doesn't matter. I'm free for both. I was just curious because I know the last one we've done has been a 2-day, but I wasn't sure if this one was going to be a 2-day or a 1-day. There you go. Both are good. I don't mind either way. But yeah, so I won't be able, but Fatboy Butcher, I won't be able to stay up super late tonight because I've got to be there tomorrow with my army, ready to change the course of history. Because yes, I know we're not beating the accusations, but I will be on the attacking team for Battle of the Bulge. Big Bulge boys, big Bulge boys, big Bulge boys. What do we got next? Bobby Ball, thank you, super chat, man. Did you see the recon squad lasgun in melee? I did not see that. No, I thought I didn't see that on the data sheet. Is that a thing? Can they shoot their lasguns in melee? That's kind of cool if they can do that. Yeah. I don't know if that's on... Is that on the data sheet or is that like an update or something? It's on the app. If it's on the app, but not on the data sheet, it means one... I mean, what is on the app? What's making... Do they have like the pistol keyword or something? Is that what you're basing it off? The Canadian Recon Squad's got assault on its... It was a bug on the app. Ah, okay. Although I tell you what I did notice, they do have the assault keyword on their lasguns, which is kind of cool. Which I didn't notice the first time I looked at the datasheet. Yeah. No, typical layout, no pistol. Ah, fair enough. All right. So basically they fucked it up on the app. Oh my days. Well, that is quite funny. That is quite funny, to be fair. All right, what do we got next? What do we got next, man? Chris K, thank you for the super chat, man. Hey, Mordian, picture of local warlord stash in chat. The warlord corner at my local hobby store now. Wow. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Like, that's fucking amazing. That's the goddamn motherload right there. Oh, baby. Oh my god. They've got a little bit of fucking everything, man. That's mental. Hey, though, tell you what, if you've got like a big enough hobby store and a popular enough hobby store, you know, you might be surprised, like, especially with how much momentum K47's getting behind it. You might be surprised at how that stuff might be flying off the shelves. Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. Who took a picture of my pile of shame? Hey, I like it. There you go, man. I mean, it looks like it is a big place. You can see you've got all the shelves back there and everything. Got the Star Wars Legion stuff down there. There's goddamn banners on the walls. There's a goddamn X-Wing up here. Infantry very, very, very cool. Holy shit, man. Made me the man I am today. That is a tell you what, I bet there's a lot of people in the chat right now that are looking at that green-eyed with envy, thinking, I wish my local hobby store had that much K47 available, especially in America, where people, where like people are where it's not quite as it's not quite as prolific in America, like Warlord being in stores. So when if you get access to something like that, it can be a real treat. Yeah. Holy shit. Hardcore pilot, yes, can confirm. Conveys, I wish mine had any. Yeah, man. Holy shit. Call of Duty, my game store does have that much available, which is all in the basement. Yeah, but to be fair, Cosmic, they've had to go down to that basement and restock all the shelves multiple times because you and Jenny keep hoovering it all up. Nice. That's awesome, man. Well, I tell you what, bro. I really hope that Conflict 47 and back extension, bolt action, absolutely pop off in your area. And I tell you what, if this is a great opportunity for a community to to form. There's no excuses now. There's no excuses now. You've got everything. You've got literally everything you could possibly want for every single faction ready to rock and cock there. That is amazing. Nice. Tight. I love that. All right. What do we got next? Cosmic Drew, thank you for super chat, man. Rewrite history. You're gonna need more. We're gonna need more busts of you. Stop it, Cosmic. So I've already busted a rift, man. I tell you what, Cosmic, I will be busting some rifts tonight, though. You guys are gonna fucking shit when you see it. Cosmic, it's true. Let's just have us order it online now and just have it ready for us. I love it. What do we got next? Bobby Paul, thank you for the super chat, man. Are you playing the Edmonton Open in June? Honestly, I haven't even heard of it, mate. So the answer's probably not. To be honest, I'm probably going to be indisposed with just getting ahead on as much of the getting. Because the thing is, it might not seem like it, but taking 2 weeks off does have a really big impact on the channel. Because you have to sort of, you have to make up for that lost time. And the way I'm going to have to make up for it is by streaming longer, doing more video, streaming longer, streaming more often. I might even do some weekend streams and also like putting out twice as much content. So probably for definitely the rest of this month, and pretty much probably for all of June, I'm probably just going to be content, like absolutely mad on the content front. So I've got like 1 or 2 events that I'm going to be able to go to, but I'm already booked up essentially. So I probably won't make it. But we'll see. Games are good. Streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe, depending on how knackered I am, and depending if it's a 2-day event. But yeah, maybe. What are we? Treat all rumors of Morning Glory weekend streams as Brucey bonuses if they happen, but not confirmed. What do we got next? Simple Logic, thank you for the gifted membership, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for doing your part. Chicken Detonator, Ghost Warriors in stream discussion. 07 sir, freshly completed an officer in assault armor and a squad of Ghost Warriors for K47 in Pearl, Japan. Also reinforcements for the Chicken Detonator Experimental Design Bureau has been dispatched today. Historical date indicates that it'll be 3 months after arrival for to be picked up. Hey, that's a cool bit of AI art, man. I like that. Hey, they look pretty cool, man. Holy shit, bro. They look excellent. I love the color scheme. Red and black just goes so well together. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Holy fuck. That's great. And also, not preemptively, preemptively, completely the wrong word. Also, bro, a massive thank you for another package. My God, look, I know I said it last time, but I'll try and stick to my word this time. I will make sure that I pick it up before 3 months. All right, even if it's 2 months, but I will just make the time to go and get it. I promise you, I will try to do that. All right. That's cool as fuck, man. And thank you for that. I look forward to seeing it, bro. And John Activity, thank you for the super chat, man. Revelation in stream discussion. The revelation. We've had another revelation, chat. I don't know what number we're on now, but The 2000s revelation. See, the thing is, we're on community revelations now. There's been another. I've had all of mine. Now you guys are having them. The community revelation. Another hand unplugged. Another person unplugs from the Matrix. Another hand touches the rift. Let's have a look. The real reason Games Workshop points values make no sense. There's one thing almost every wargamer can agree on. Games Workshop is terrible at setting points values. Not merely occasionally wrong, not slightly off, genuinely baffling. Units swing between absurdly undercosted, laughably overpriced, and mysteriously untouched for months at a time. Naturally, people have theories. That's true. It's something that let me say this. It hasn't always been that way. GW has shown they can do it. I think even though it was a bit of a crazy heady time, if you look at the first 18 months, I'd say first 18 months to 2 years of 10th edition, GW was really on it on the balance patches. Like, they were really good. They were intelligently made. They would often, they were intelligently made. They weren't knee-jerking them. Often, even if something looked broken, they would let it ride for a month before they tweaked it. And everyone sort of understood it's fine, because they understood that sometimes something would look good on paper, but it might not actually be as bad in reality. And when something did get nerfed, often they do several incremental nerfs to try and get it to the right place. And then what ends up happening, and this happened all through 9th edition, and it happened for pretty much the second half of 10th edition, they started going back to the patented triple nerf. And it's weird because they showed they could do things intelligently. I mean, also look at some of the ways, and not just nerfs, but look at some of the ways that they buffed certain ailing factions. Who remembers at the beginning of 10th how bad Death Guard were? How bad Leagues of Votann were? And then what they ended up doing is actually coming up with, for both of those factions, quite clever, not just like pulling levers, not just pulling point levers, but they actually came up with some quite clever, quite clever and effective, but not over-tuned changes to those factions. Even though, you know, Stephen Box fucking cried about Death Guard being overpowered. They weren't. And then the second half of 10th, that all just went away. It's like they forgot how to do that. That all just went away. So they have shown they can do it, but like you said, mysteriously, they often don't do it, and no one really knows why. But anyway, naturally, people have theories. The first is that points are based on how powerful a unit is in the game. That one collapsed under even casual scrutiny. Just say Catan, say Defiler, say the entire Eldar Codex at the start of 10th edition. If points reflected battlefield performance, some of these disasters would be impossible to explain. The second theory is that GW prices according to what's new. New kit, lower points. Get it on the tables. Sounds plausible until you remember things like the Norn Emissary, heavily overcosted. New clearly does not automatically mean cheap. I agree with that. Like, I think the starkest example we had of this was the Tyrannid Prime versus the Twin Lance. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds plausible to remember on say nuclear is not automatically being cheap. So what does explain it? You'll have to take this partly on trust, but I know a few design freelancers who've done work with companies around Nottingham. According to them, the process is brutally simple. The creative team assigns a points value. Then it goes to the warehouse, and the warehouse adjusts. Too many defilers sitting on shelves keep the points attractive for a suspiciously long time. Limited production run of a character like Yarrick, and they vanish instantly, released with punishing points. Scarcity management disguised as game balance. So, are you saying if they... So, I was going to say, but that doesn't make sense. Holy shit, man. 1 minute. That actually makes sense. Hang on. Holy shit. That actually makes sense. If they only produce... Let's say, proportionally, they only produce a tiny fraction of the Tyrannid Primes and Lash Whips versus the fact they massively overproduce something like Twin Lance, then so when the pre-orders go up for those models and the relatively few Tyranid primes that they produce like fly off the shelves, then they don't worry about the points cost of that unit because it's already done. Oh, we've already sold that. But then, oh, we fucking produced the shit out of these Twin Lances. Okay, we need to make these really attractive. They are going to stay attractive until we've got rid of them. Is it possible that Games Workshop massively overproduced the new Nightbringer? Ooh, I think it is. Is it possible that GW massively produced the new Nightbringer? Yeah, overproduced it. Yes, they did. Because the model leaked for years. Like, you could get a 3D print of the new Nightbringer before you could buy the new Nightbringer. And how many people just took the old Nightbringer and put it on a new base? I mean, Salty Simon did that himself. He was like, I'm not buying the new one. I've already got a Nightbringer. And the new Defiler. The new Defiler was available to 3D print 24 hours after GW showed it on Warhammer Community. So they haven't sold enough of them yet. So they haven't nerfed them yet. It's not about releasing something that's good. It's about tweaking the point. It's about nerfing it once they've sold enough of it. Oh, shit, man. Suddenly, the madness starts looking oddly rational. Occam's razor applies here. The simplest explanation is often the correct one. Not hidden in mathematical formulas. Not hyper-advanced internal balancing algorithms. Not grand design philosophy. Inventory management. The primary driver of Games Workshop's points values isn't game balance, it's stock control. And honestly, doesn't that explain everything? What do we say? What have we been saying? If you want to understand why GW does anything, ask yourself, how does this lead to Games Workshop making more money? Like, why does GW... Like, it's not like... And some people go, duh, businesses need to make money. No. You're misunderstanding me. Like, obviously business needs to make money. You're not some fucking genius for pointing that out. What we're saying is, if you want to understand every single thing Games Workshop does, work out how it leads to more profitability. Like, it's not, we know they're trying to make money. It's like, if they do something and on the surface it doesn't make sense, try and look at it from the angle of, how would this decision have led them to making more money? Mad Larkin, okay, if true, Centaur and Hippogriff would have come in at a hot like 55 to 60 points. But Mad Larkin, everybody pre-ordered the battalions before they knew the points costs. GW, I think that's true. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe pre-orders went up first, then points values were revealed. It went data sheets, pre-orders, points values. Right? It didn't go datasheet, points, pre-order. It went datasheet, pre-order, points. And I think we all know the Imperial Guard Battalion instantly sold out. Everywhere. Both scalpers and non-scalpers. Because they'd sold all of the stuff that they needed to sell, they didn't really give a shit about what points value they gave it. It just went, that'll do. My God. My God. This is interesting. I'm going to say introspectivity. I think you've had a revelation, sir. I think you've had a revelation. All right, let's have a look. The Lower Decks, thank you for super chat, man. 25 months, Merflex X-Force, baby. Too beautiful prison. Check stream discussion. Sir, we are at the landing pad. While Jenkins spins up the Aquila lander, we have a brief respite before company arrives. We have limited weapons, and by the specs, a lot of opposition is closing on our position. I have got on the Vox and have contacted 2-ply to inform Colonel Teague of our situation. After briefly outlining our increasing danger, down the line I heard, your call is important to us, followed by the most annoying hold music in the Imperium. This house of cards might be about to fall. It's entirely possible that I'm about to go to prison. All right, let me have a look. Oh, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Oh, man. Fuck's sake. Where do you even find these fucking clips, man? All right. What do we got next? Book ahead. Book ahead. Thank you so much, man, for renewing your channel membership, sir. Thank you for going from conscript to volunteer. Thank you for doing your part, man. Amazing. Florida Eccentric, thank you for super chat, bro, in Knoxville, Tennessee for a Star Wars tournament. Hey, that's cool, man. Well, I hope you have lots of fun, and I hope you win some games, lose some games, and most importantly, enjoy some games. Denzel Wenzel, thank you for super chat, man. 07MG list review and stream discussion. Have a wonderful stream and day, good sir. Let's have a look. Kree Command Squad. So we're in Siege Force. Kree Command Squad. Kree Command Squad. Lemurus Commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, squads of infantry. Artillery team. Avenger Strike Fighters time 3. Oh, okay. Couple of Basilisks could fill those batteries. So I'm going to be real with you. You should just swap all of those strike fighters out for more infantry. I'm sorry. They are not going to do very much for you in 10th edition. However, in 11th edition, they might be quite good at spotting. Apparently, the 11th edition flyer rules, and I don't know if this is true, but apparently the 11th edition flyer rules are going to be like the unit, your plane sort of deep strikes on the board and then stays there until the end of your opponent's turn and then goes away. So you bring it in your turn and take it off at the end of your opponent's turn. So it's kind of like uppy-downy kind of thing. Comes down your turn, up at the end of your opponent's turn. So your opponent gets a chance to shoot it out of the sky, but you get a chance to actually bring it in somewhere useful. So hopefully, if that is true, those Avenger Strike Fires might become a lot more interesting. So there you go. So I would say in 10th, get rid of the Strike Fighters, get more infantry. In 11th, I might keep those Strike Fighters. There you go. There you go. All right. And with that super chat done there, I don't mean to alarm you, but we have caught up. And it's now time to find out what's in the box. Woo, baby. Okay. Right. So when I say I've got a big package, I mean, I've got a big package. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, I'm going to fucking paper cut myself if I'm not careful. So, what have we got in here? We got some paper. Actually, before I forget, let's do this properly. Okay. So before I go any further, I want to say a huge thank you to Warlord Games for sending me this big box of goodies. I was not expecting this. I literally this package arrived at my front door. Actually, correction, it arrived at my neighbour's front door, and the poor bugger had to take it in. It's quite heavy, and they had to bring it over to me. So it arrived via my neighbour at my front door, and I was looking at this thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I saw it had like from Warlord Games on it. And I was like, "What have they sent me?" And it was like really heavy, and I was like, "What is this?" So I want to say like a huge thank you to Warlord Games, because I have opened. I was curious. I did open it and had a look, and they have completely gone above and beyond any expectations. And I honestly cannot believe what they've sent me. They're absolutely bonkers. All right, so we're gonna go through it now. And there's lots of goodies in here for like, I've only peeked in the top of the box, though. I haven't seen it all. I just peeked in the top. There's lots of goodies in here, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Zukov's Boots, your neighbor had to receive your big package. If only they were so lucky. So, what the fuck even is this, man? All right, 1 minute. I think there's more stuff in there. I think I've left something downstairs. I'm gonna have to go have a look. It's all right. So the first thing I've got is some bubble wrap. Yeah, I think one of the things I need is downstairs. I'll go and grab it at some point. I think so. Oh no, is it here? Oh no, it's here. It's all here. It's all here. So what I left downstairs was the note that said what was in here. Sorry. So I have seen it because I've read the manifest. I forgot that. All right. So I'm going to show off one of the first new things. And it is, you know, some people will be very excited about this. I'm personally very excited about this. But it is the new plastic heavy weapon teams. And you might be thinking, but Mordian, didn't you already show these off? No. I've previously showed off the German plastic heavy weapon teams. But what we have here are the American plastic heavy weapon teams. I've never seen these before. So you've got the crew that's here. And then you've got the weapons, which is here. And it looks like you get 2 medium machine guns. You get a mortar, which I suspect could be used as a... That looks like it's going to be a medium mortar there. Maybe a light mortar. Probably could be used as either or. And then you get Mad Juice, a 50 cal. That's right. Plastic 50 cal machine guns, baby. Yeah, buddy. Someone get on that 50. Someone get on that 50. Oh, baby. Holy shit, man. Oh, but I already have 3 of the old metal ones. Let me tell you, I'm going to be getting 3 of the plastic ones now. I mean, for some people, they'll be like, you know, bot action, you know, bot action's a bit less flashy than something like K-47. Do you know what I mean? But I think everybody loves a good 50 cal machine gun. Absolute immersion. Absolute immersion. Plastic 50 cal machine guns is a big deal, and it's a big deal for bolt action, and it's a big deal for Conflict 47 as well, because those of you who have been watching my K47 after action reports will know that a good 50 cal machine gun goes a long way in K47. In this world full of monsters and horrors beyond our comprehension, it turns out that the good old 50 sends them back into the rift from whence they came. And of course, a great point from Sergeant Sharp here. This will be a very useful kit for if you're playing British in K47 as well, because there isn't currently a British 50 cal kit, but you could take this. You could take this this sprue here and do a simple head swap on the crew for some British Tommy helmets, and everyone knows you get so many spare heads and helmets in every Warlord kit that you don't even need to factor that into account into the cost. You're just gonna have them lying around, right? So yeah, that's awesome. Also, you can use it for free French as well. That's awesome. Sure, they got monsters, but a 50 cal is a 50 cal. Exactly. So that's very, very hype. I tell you what, I didn't even know they'd made these yet. Like, I knew that they were coming. But I had no idea that they already had them in plastic. These aren't even available for pre-order yet. These are ridiculously early. Holy shit, Warlord. This is like pre-order. Oh my god. So that's already a pretty big deal. All right. But we've got more. We've got more. Do you think Tim has violated NDA and now he can tell us everything? Okay, I can't tell you everything, Cosmic, but I have had confirmation from Warlord about when I can tell you about some of the stuff that's coming. Some of the stuff I've been hinting at for like the British and for the Japanese and stuff. It's not. I'll check the dates later, but I now have a date for when the sort of embargo drops. Well, not really embargo, but I've been told I can talk a little bit more freely about it. So it'll be soon. I'll check the dates, but it's not. We're not talking months. We're talking like a few weeks, maybe. So don't worry. All right, now we've got. Speaking of Conflict 47, we do have something else for Conflict that is here, and holy shit, I might need to build one of these on stream, because we've got the plastic British automated infantry. Oh baby, and Warlord's shown these sprues off on their website, but seeing them in person is something else. These look like they are going to be a dream to build. I can see straight away, this bit's going to go with this bit. This bit's going to go with this bit. Now, let me just say something. This is one of the most anticipated and important kits for Conflict 47. Because one of the biggest problems of the Brits right now isn't the robots. The rules are fine right now, but one of the problems is how bad the robots are to build. The metal Mark 1 robots and the resin Mark 1 robots, the Warlord, I think it's the Warlord resin ones, are just horrific. And they are so bad that people just don't buy them. Like they just don't. Even if they really need them for their armies, they just don't buy them because they're just not fun to build, or not fun to build, basically. But now they're in plastic, and I think we need to right here, right now, before we go any further, we need to build one of these bad boys, because the old ones were so bad to build. I think we need to get a sense of how much easier these ones are to go with. There we go. Macan, I've deliberately not started the Brits until those came out. Dude, you and probably a lot of other people. A lot. Yeah. I would say Warlord has been missing out on a lot of potential Brit sales because of the reputation of the robots. So let me just switch camera over here for a second. And I think let me just do that. Move my phone out the way. And I think let's fucking build one of these. Let's do it live and in Technicolor. So we're just gonna go for we don't have any instructions. So we're gonna raw dog this and see if we can build one of the automated infantry without any instructions. And these are the new plastic ones. So let's get a sense for what they're like. All right, so that's the front and the back. Let's go for one of the heads. Interestingly, so it looks like they've gone back to the original head design. So those of you that have built the metal ones and have built the resin ones, you'll notice that the resin ones had more like wires and shit on the side of the head. And it looks like they've gone back to the original design. Oh, well, it's slightly different, but somewhat gone back to the original design. Which is, you know, fine, is what it is. It's not the end of the world. All right. We are going to need some arms now. So we'll go for this machine gun here. And we'll just go, is that a left and a right arm? I think so. Let's have a look. That goes on one side of the body. Is that on, no, that's that, and that is on the other side of the body. Okay, that's good. And then let's go for a couple of legs. All right, there we go. And I'll put the... it is worth mentioning that they do come with plastic 50 cals and plastic medium machine guns as well. So we'll just trim off some of the little bits here. There's not too many connection points though, so they're pretty easy to start just getting on with straight away. I feel like there was another one, but I can't even find it. Right, that's fine anyway. That there. Yeah, one's fine there. A little bit underneath there. Let's do that. And that. Legs. There. And there. And another leg. There. And a little bit on the front of the leg that time. That's fine there. My knife is a little blunt. Whenever I do these things, I always seem to have a bloody blunt knife. That's fine. Where did they put the other connector? I thought it was... Is it just one there? Yeah, that's fine. A little bit on the bottom there. Oh, on the shoulder bit there. Yeah. There we go. And on there. And then on the head, just on the ball joint there. Okay, so that's all that bit done. I've got a spare base here. So there we go. I think these are the right size base. I better check actually. Where are you? Yeah, that is the right size base. So this is what one of the resin one looks like. Okay, so let's do it. Firstly, I'm going to put the body together. All right. Secondly, I think I'm going to... I wonder what would be the best bit to do next. I think I'm going to connect the legs to the body first. This is kind of interesting because I think they are going to be much easier, but I think there's still going to be a little sort of knack to doing them. There. And there. I mean, how much easier is that? Holy shit. All right. And then let's get some glue there and there. And let's... So the great thing about this is it's going to be like... You're still going to have to fiddle around with them like a little bit, I suspect. But it's the fact that the fiddling process is going to be so much easier. I mean, there you go. Holy shit, guys. I mean, I've built a lot of the resonant metal ones. I mean, he just fucking built. Like let me tell you, right? The hardest bit of building one of these guys is the legs. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to do the hardest bit first and see how it goes. Piece of piss. Like, see, look, you can adjust it as much as you want. You can actually have one like running forward. Holy shit, you can pose him like running forward like that. Holy fuck, man, that looks great. All right, let's see. Let's be fair. I've only sort of loosely placed one. Let me firmly stick him down there so we can go with this whole running pose. All right. No, the Warlord logo is on the bottom. There you go. There you go. Now, I think what I want to do now is have a go at the arms. Although, to be fair, he might still be a bit wobbly on the base, but that's not to be clear, that's not the model's fault. That's just because, you know, I'm not giving him a chance to dry on his base yet. So if this goes a bit wrong, I'm going to blame myself, not Warlord. And that's not just me preserving my ball washing rights. I think that's fair. You do have to let models, like, actually let the glue set and stuff on them. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, I feel like I want him to be like running forward. Let me tell you what, let me just get the machine gun in place. And then we can start fucking around with how we want his final pose to look. Okay, so like, it's sticking in there nicely. I think that shoulder forward like that. That shoulder forward like that. Angle the body like that. And the head like that. Holy fuck, look at that. Have you ever seen the robots looking so dynamic? Like, he's literally sprinting forward like machine gun in hand. You know, and some of you might be thinking, but Mordian, don't the robots move quite slowly? Yeah, right now they do. Holy shit. All right. That was, I'm just going to say it. That was a piece of piss. That was a piece of piss to build. Wow. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. That was so easy to fucking build. And you've got such like posability on them as well. Like, you could have them like marching forward, like clanking, or you can have them like sprinting forward. You've got like, you can literally make all sorts of poses for those robots. That's fucking amazing. That's so cool. And the fact that you can have, you know, you can still create those sort of classic, sort of clunky, sort of rattly, sort of first off the line kind of looking bastards. And you can also make them look like they're more like sort of running forward, like fully juiced up, fully ready to get into bayonet range. Like, cool. Very, 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 very cool. So I have to say, I'm a big, big fan of the new robot kit. And I promise you, I'm not just ball washing. Anyone who's ever built any of the oldies will be able to testify to this. That has gone from being one of the worst kits in all of Warlord games, not just K47, all of Warlord games, to build, to I would argue one of the best. That was such an improvement. And I was a little skeptical of how they'd kept the connection points at first. I was a little skeptical, but actually I like it. It works in plastic because of the way because of the connection points. It allows you to get a lot more customizable with the poses that the robots are going to have, which is really awesome. More posability, the better. You don't want them looking all static. You want them sometimes to be static, sometimes to be, you know, running, that kind of stuff. And it is worth pointing out, one thing that I've noticed is, you've got some of the, on here, you've got some hands, like just like normal hands, like they're like robot like hands pointing like that. And some of the machine guns, you'll notice, don't have like a hand on the top handle. So it will be possible for you to pose like your Mark 1 robots where like it's holding like the machine gun in like one hand and it's like pointing with another hand, which is very, very cool. Very, very sort of like Battle Droid-esque, which is cool as fuck. Like Roger, Roger, all that kind of stuff. So that's very, very, very cool. All right. So big, big improvement on the plastic bots. That's cool. Now, speaking of plastic robots, I don't mean to alarm you, but I have been sent another model here. It is the Mark II Plastic Commander. The Mark II Plastic Commander bot. So this is very interesting. So for those that don't know, like, this guy is going to be one of your like platoon commanders. So if you want to run like a full automated army, you will be able to, because instead of taking like a human platoon commander, you will be able to take a robot platoon commander essentially. So if you don't want any disgusting fleshy meat bags in your army, I mean, if you don't want to risk the lives of your brave boys and you want to avoid having to write some letters home, then you can have a fully automated army at your disposal. So there you go. There you are. Very, 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 very cool. Again, we've sort of seen the sprues of this from Warlord on the website, but yeah, it's cool to see it in real life. The model looks like it's a piece of piss to put together. That's the back. That's the back. That's the back. That's the front. That's the power pack. The legs do come in two halves. So you've got the front of the. I think one of the legs might even come in three parts. So the legs do come in multiple parts, but it doesn't look too bad. Before we all get some PTSD and some flashback to like GW models, it does look like it'll be fairly straightforward. And this is quite a big like chunky guy, so it might make a bit more sense. There's still like not too many parts to this guy, like at all. So yeah, I think yes, the bits are, the legs are broken down a little bit, but the way the sprue has been laid out means that that's not so much of a problem, because like, these three bits just go together. These three bits just go together. So I'm not giving Warlord a free pass. I'm not just being like, oh well, when Warlord breaks the legs down, it's good, but when GW does it, it's bad. No. Obviously, you got to treat both companies fairly and equally. And I'll tell you, yes, the legs are broken down into multiple bits, probably more than I would normally like. But the fact that all the bits that I need are in the same place, I'm going to confirm it. The sprue ergonomics absolutely save it. Abso-fucking-lutely do. Yeah. And that's it. That's what I've always said about, like, I've said that about GW sprues as well. Like, I don't mind if you want to, okay, there's a certain extent where I think GW does start taking the piss, like 54 parts for a Saturnine Terminator. But I don't mind models being broken down into a few more parts. I appreciate that can lead to more detail, but you can't have them broken down into loads and loads of separate bits and then have those bits spread across the sprue in a completely nonsensical manner. So yeah, like that's That's like I said. So I think I've been like very fair and very objective with the analysis of that. There you go. So we've covered the 50 cal teams. We've covered the Mark 1 robots in plastic. We've covered the Mark 2 commander in plastic. I wonder if makes noises off camera. I wonder if there's any other K-47 stuff in here. Oh, yeah, there might be one thing here. I don't know if anyone's interested. Looks like there's some sort of like old battered robot model in here. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what this guy might be? Looks that's right. I got fucking Bertie. B for Bertie, baby! There we go. That's our boy. I know so many of you were wanted me to. I know so many of you were excited to see this guy. This was the bit that I thought was gonna make all of you guys like super jealous. All right, now I didn't build the commander on camera just because I figured that I'd built the Mark 1 robot. I can always circle back to the commander later. But I think we have to build Bertie on stream, don't we? I think we have to. Come on then. All right. I mean, I can do he's fully plastic. He's not Warlord resin. He is fully plastic. There you go. All right. So let me build. He's hardly any parts at all. He's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. I mean, he's nothing. It's funny. His diorama base. He's got like his base is in 2 parts. You've got the standard 32mm base, and then you've got the bit like the scenic bit that goes on top of it, which is kind of funny. But let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, he is an absolute piece of piss to build, and it's kind of fun and kind of crazy to see like how like well the community has responded and like fallen in love with B for Bertie. I think what's funny is I think Warlord Games, I don't think they were quite expecting people to be as excited for Bertie as we all are. I don't know. It's just, sometimes, you know, a character is just naturally like endearing and just naturally like such a cool idea that whilst it's, you know, fundamentally, you know, it's just like a named robot, right? But for some reason, because of the way the community feels about them, it's actually just a much bigger deal. And yeah, I think the hype around B for Bertie is very organic, and it's just sort of, you know, this is just what us war gamers are like. You know, we like our like fun. It's like we like our sort of like fun, quirky, sort of like just like characters, not necessarily like main characters, but almost like, you know, little like sometimes side characters become more interesting or become more popular than the main characters sometimes. And, you know, I think, you know, it's kind of funny how Warlord's been like, hey, look, Roberta Wells, you know, hey, look, like Von Zergling, and everyone's like, yeah, Warlord, those are like really cool. And then they're like, oh yeah, also we've got this like Bertie guy, and everyone's like, who the fuck is that? It's like that meme where it's like pushing the things out the way and go, that one. Yeah, I think there's definitely an element of that with Bertie, but you know what? It makes for a good meme. It makes for a good meme. So there we are. All right. He is ridiculously easy to build. He's probably easier to build than the Mark Ones, and those are very easy to build, to be fair. The way they've broken the model down is very, very good. I think he's going to be easier to build, but I suspect he's going to have a bit less posability. But, you know, that's not so bad. For like named characters and stuff, they do tend to be in their sort of iconic pose. And I'm pretty consistent with that belief with GW models as well. Like Yarick is in like his pose, and that's cool. You know, like Daddy Creed was in his pose, and that's cool. If they have a good iconic pose, then yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. All right, so his body is basically all like 1 bit, really. So we'll put his wouldn't that the best way to put this on, actually? Let's do a little dry fit. Is it like that? Okay, yeah, that goes together very nicely. All right, so let's have a look at B for Bertie. I mean, there's these really handy little like guide pegs here that slot in perfectly, not too tight. They slot in absolutely perfectly. They're just a guide. They're not like a hard fit. So they go in perfectly there. That's very nice. You can see like the connection point on the legs is recessed, so that makes it like really easy. Just dab the glue on either side, and then just, you know, that one can only really. Oh, there's a bit of posability there. Yeah, that's not so bad. That one goes there. That one just goes there. I suppose take this thing, stick a bit of glue on the bottom of it. That's fine. Slap that on the base. That goes very nicely. That's good. It's actually slightly smaller than the base, which I think makes it better. They haven't tried to make the tolerances like too tight or something, which is good. That goes there. Was that the right bit for that? Well, we'll find out, I suppose. I think it was. And yeah, oh, there's guide recesses on the base as well. It's obvious with the foot one, with this one, but there's also a little guide recess on the other leg as well, so that makes it line up perfectly. And then we've just got his gun. That just goes on perfectly like that. And then it's just a flat bit for his head, so you can twist his head to be in any direction that you want. I'm probably just going to have him just looking sort of in the direction that his gun's starting to point in. Maybe he's detected something. And there you go. That was it. That was very, very, very bloody easy. Holy shit, man. And if you're wondering how much B for Bertie is, he is £12, so he's about half the price of a GW character. Well, probably a bit more, probably a bit less because he's a named character. GW tends to charge about 30 quid for their named characters, so he's less than half the price. He's 2/5 the price of a GW named character. There you are. He's pretty good. He's pretty big as well. If some of you are wondering, like, how big is Bertie? He is bigger than a Space Marine. Like significantly bigger than a Space Marine. This isn't like a, oh well, he's cheaper because he's smaller. Like, no, he's bigger than a Heresy Tactical Marine. Those are the true scale ones. He is bigger than this Death Guard Marine. Like, obviously Death Guard guy's got the big horn, but especially if you take into account the base, he is bigger than that Death Guard Marine. Death Guard's quite chunky. I mean, I guess the Death Guard's a bit chunkier, but Bertie's a bit taller. He is bigger than a Guardsman. You know, he's much, look at the size difference. He's much bigger than a Guardsman. And if you want to see what he's like next to, like, an allied soldier, he absolutely fucking towers over him. Wow, look at that. He absolutely towers over that basic infantryman. He is a big, big boy. I mean, it's not quite a fair comparison, obviously, because I've got this one like running forward, but he might even be a little bigger than a standard Mark 1, but that's probably not right just because of the pose that I've gone for. So he is probably the same size as a normal Mark 1. He just looks a bit bigger because of the cape and the backpack. There you go. And he's only a Mark 1. Yeah, the Mark 2s are much, much bigger. The Mark 2 commander is bigger than Bertie. Yeah, Bertie's just a friendly Mark 1. Yeah. Mark 2s are absolutely massive. There you are. All right, so B for B. There you go. So, I mean, that's a lot of the K47 stuff we've got to show off. To be fair, that's all the K47 stuff we've got to show off. But you'll notice that the box was very, very big. And that was just, you know, like, I say just, but in terms of size, not in terms of, like, awesomeness. Just a handful of sprues. So I wonder what we have next. Now, let me just pop those down there for a second. Now, make sure my glue's on. There we go. Now, some of you may remember one of my live streams before I went away for a couple of weeks. We were talking about epic scale games. And I showed off to you guys some of the epic scale, like, Napoleonic stuff that I've been working on. And it's very cool. All that kind of stuff. Very cool, very cool. Got some Scots there. Got some Highland Regiment. And whilst we were sort of painting and working some of that stuff, someone in chat was like, hey, Mordian, what do you think about Epic Hail Caesar? And we started looking at some of the Epic Hail Caesar, like, battle reports and stuff. And it turns out there's actually, like, the game not only does the game look bloody fantastic, but there's actually, like, a half-decent Hail Caesar, Epic Hail Caesar, like, community out there. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to Warlord and see if they'll. I was like, you know, I'm kind of interested in Epic Hail Caesar, but you know, I want to just, I want to see what the sprues are like to work with before I commit to anything too much, right? So what I did before I went away on holiday is I sent an email to Warlord, and I have to admit, I kind of forgot about it. You know, with the wedding and the honeymoon and everything, I kind of forgot about it. But I sent an email to Warlord, and I was like, hey, Jim, you know, some of the guys have sort of expressed an interest. Some of the guys in the community have expressed an interest in, like, Hail Caesar, Epic Scale. I wonder if you could just send me, like, a sprue of the models to... so I can get a feel for the models and see if it's a system that I want to sort of get into. Because obviously I've got to build and paint the armies if I get one. So bear in mind, you know, I asked for a sprue. Yeah. They sent me slightly more than a sprue. They sent me an entire army. I don't know how many models are in here, but it's a lot. It is a lot. Holy shit, man. Let's take a look. Holy shit, man. Now, bear in mind, I think this entire army is like 70 quid on, like, Warlord's website. Tell you what, let's open the box up on camera, shall we? There you go. So, this is the box it comes in. Epic Hail Caesar, Punic Wars. Like, let's see if I can get the whole box in there. There you go. You might have to look at my crotch a little bit, but there you go. So, they sent me the Celt army. And this is... Yeah, War's like, I got a sprue for you. And the box is so full. I don't know if you can see that, but, like, it's actually, like that model is, like, over the brim. It's genuinely filled to the brim with models. Holy shit, man. Look at all these Celt warriors. Holy fuck. These are so cool. So some of these have got clothes on, some of them don't, which is absolutely hilarious. We got some naked dudes running around here as well. Holy fuck. And it does a lot of this. Celt warriors, Celt warriors, Celt warriors. What's this? More Celt warriors. So these look like smaller sprues. And these are the bit, but they still have Celt warriors on. And these are bigger sprues, which have got the warriors and the cavalry. And chariots as well. Oh my god. So there's like all of this in here, and then the bottom of it is like all the sprues. There's also a chieftain in here as well. I think you get Boudica in here as well, which is kind of cool. So we've got, not only have we got a full, I mean, there's a lot here, man. So they've sent me a full Celt army to try out for Hail Caesar, which is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to start painting these guys up. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think these are going to be a piece of piss in comparison to the Napoleonics. Because look, don't get me wrong, I love the epic Napoleonic stuff, but each guy actually takes effort to paint, and you have thousands of them to paint. Whereas these ones, it's like, you know, paint the pants, paint all the cloth brown or green, paint the shields like red or like blue or some shit. Do you know what I mean? And then just sort of crack on with it. So I think these are going to be way, way, way easier. I think I could probably paint each one of these in like 4 colors. Whereas the, maybe 5. Whereas the Napoleonic stuff, it's like 10 to 12 colors per thing. It's like painting an actual thing. So don't get me wrong, I love the Napoleonic stuff, but it definitely takes a little while to paint up. So I think these guys will be a bit easier. Even with like the skin and the cloth, I think these guys will be a bit easier. So that's kind of cool. Your hobby should go last 12 hours. I know, right? It's gonna be a busy one. Oh, let me just pop this down here. All right. So that was pretty cool. So we've got Epic Hail Caesar confirmed, right? Right? Well, if you're gonna play Epic Hail Caesar, probably need someone for those Celts to fight against. You might also need someone to hire those Celts as mercenaries. So let me just have a look in this box and see if there's anything else in here. I think there's a little something. Save the best till last. Woo! This is why the box was so heavy. Warlord, I asked for 1 sprue. I asked for 1 sprue. Holy shit, man. Are you excited for 11th edition? Not particularly. I might be a little busy. So this box set contains more than 3,000 soldiers. And it comes with 2 massive, and I mean massive, armies. You get the Romans and you get the Carthaginians. That's like, so that's why I said the Romans can fight the Celts, but the Carthaginians had like a lot of like Celtic mercenaries. That's why I said like the Celts might need someone, you know, someone for the Celts to help out, right? Holy shit, man. This is actually insane. So I don't even think we're going to be able to fit this on the desk cam. I think we're just going to have to like raw dog this We're going to fucking raw dog this bad boy. You're going to have crotch cam for a bit. All right, so let's rip this open. Can I just say, Warlord, 1 minute. I know I said thank you at the beginning of the video, but holy shit. Thank you so much to Warlord. And can we get a big shout out to Jim? Because Jim is I'd say it's probably my main contact at Warlord, and he has him and the whole of the K47 team and the whole of the Warlord team have been absolutely incredible. Like they have been. So a massive shout out to Jim and the rest of the guys at Warlord, because this is absolutely mental. It's absolutely beyond anything. I think it's beyond anything that I or anyone in this community or any influencer, whatever, influencer, wanky term, I know, but any content creator, that's a better one, could have expected. So can we just get a big 07 down in the chat for Jim and the Warlord guys? Because he's absolutely gone above and beyond what there's any and all expectation, which is just incredible. So a massive shout out to them, and again, just a massive thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. This is, to pardon the pun, truly epic. Yeah, I think this is like the biggest box of Hail Caesar you can get. So yeah, this is amazing. All right, so let's open this huge. Like this is, when I say it's big, like not only is it wide, you've got to look, guys. Look how fucking dense this is. Like this is probably as thick. I would say this is as thick as two. This is the same size like this as like a GW, like the you know, the Imperial Guard like Krieg box. It's about the same size as the Krieg box, and I'd say it's about twice as thick. Maybe even like 2 and a bit times thick. So it's girthy. Yeah, Zhukov's boots. It's absolutely girthy. So let's lift the lid off this beast. All right. We've got the Epic Hail Caesar rulebook, which is very nice, actually. It's actually, considering it's a mini rulebook, the text in there is quite nice. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's actually quite nice and readable. It's not like microfilm. It's like proper good. So it's a proper girthy rulebook. It's the full color one. So that's very, very nice. There's lots of history in here. Look, you've got like Sicily, Hamilcar. It's got all the, like, there's different rules for like slings. Some things you'll recognize in here from like other games. It's like stubborn is in here. Tough fighters. Steady, valiant. Looks like there's lots of good like universal special rules. I feel like it's, you know, it's going to feel like a proper rank and flank style game. That was one of the things that I noticed when I was watching some of the battle reports of this thing. I noticed how like it kind of reminded me of like Warhammer Fantasy, like 6th edition, to a certain extent. Like, just because like obviously Fantasy 6th edition was a very different scale and was fantasy, not like historical. But it kind of reminded me of that, and it made me, you know, with the way like the units like charge up the hill, the clash of spears, the clash of shield on shield. You know, one of the like Roman units like lost a combat, but it had stubborn, so it could like, or was it like valiant? That was it. So it could reroll like a break test. Yeah, it was. It felt. It sort of reminded me a little bit of that. Very, very, very different, very distinct. With the whole, you know, I'm only saying like it reminded me of it. It definitely wasn't that similar to it, but it sort of, you know, it felt like a sort of classic rank and flank kind of game. And as someone who grew up with fantasy, that's kind of what it, where my brain went to initially. But yeah, very, very, very cool. And I mean it as a bit. I mean it as a true compliment to say that it even reminded me of that. So yeah, that's awesome. It's a pretty. It's a thick rule book, considering it's a mini rule book, so that's kind of cool. We've got a watchtower, so a nice little bit of terrain there. That's cool. Got some transfers, so you don't have to try and paint the pattern onto the Roman shields. You could just You can just transfer them on, which is nice, to be fair. This is just the this is just a starter booklet. So it just sort of takes you through your first few games of your first game of Hail Caesar, basically. Very good. I love how your first game just is going to involve just that's like a full army. That's amazing. Got some instructions here. Got like a painting guide, which is kind of cool. Block colors. Which is that you can see it's much quicker than doing the Napoleonic stuff. Carthaginian assembly guide. The war elephants are in plastic, which I have to say I'm very, very happy about. I thought they were going to be in resin or metal, but no. We've got. Is this a? Oh, it's a mat. We've got a little paper mat to play on. There seems to be 2 of those, so I think you can make like a nice big board out of them. Like if you don't have just like a sandy mat to play on, you've got a couple of these, and they also act as quick reference guides as well, so that's nice. Nice bit of gaming accoutrement. But right, now it's time to get to the bit that obviously the rules are cool, the mats are cool, all that shit's kind of cool, but it's not the good stuff, is it? It's not the models. Woo-hoo, baby. Let's have look. So that's where the bases are. All of that down to the bottom is models. Holy shit. We've got the Warfords. So they kind of they're not stuck on it. Oh, they're kind of connected. Oh, that's kind of an interesting sort of design. So look, you see this tubey thing. It's like a plug and socket system that connects them together. Like that bit there. See how it's like? See how it's hollow? Connects onto that bit there. So it stops the sprues from moving around, rubbing against each other in the box, which is really good. It's a way of stopping the sprues from getting damaged. That's really good. That's actually a very, very clever system. I like that. That's how the things don't get damaged, even when they're all stacked in here like that. Interesting. So we've got some elephants here and some more Celt warriors. We've got plenty of those to be cracking on with. Got some more elephants in here. Some more Celts. The Carthaginians famously making use of a lot of Celt warriors. Celts merchants, which is actually, fine, because it means that I can use these. If I want to have a full standalone Celt army, I can use these bad boys to bulk out the Celt army that I got as well. So, and also that goes the other way, cross compatibility, which is nice. So that's good. And then we get to the Carthaginians. All right. So it's kind of interesting. There's a very important difference between the Carthaginians and the Romans in terms of the sprue design. So you can see here, the Carthaginians, you can see the capes. Hold up the camera. You see the capes and stuff, and you can see these ones. You can see the armor on the back of them. But with the Romans, they actually come. If you look, it looks like there's bits missing, but it's not that bit there. That bit there plugs into this bit here. So basically you plug these sort of 3 bits you plug these 3 bits together. I think that's how it works. So this bit plugs into this bit, and then this bit plugs into this bit, and so your guys are 3 ranks deep. And what that means, your guys are 3 ranks deep, but you only ever have to paint essentially 1 rank. Because you only have to paint the fronts of these guys and the backs of these guys. So that makes this that massively cuts down on the painting logistics of these guys. Because again, one of the problems I had with the Napoleonic ones is that the front of the models and the back of the models were very, very detailed. So I'll say this, I think the Romans are going to be the easiest part of this whole thing to paint. I think the Carthaginians and the Celts will still be very easy, because look, it's you just paint in the backs. You guys might not be able to see that the whole back of this model is just chainmail or maybe it's not chainmail, whatever. It's just armor. So you could just paint all of that in like one color, not have to like the backpack and the straps and the and all that kind of stuff. So they're still going to be very, very straightforward to paint. Yeah, so you get loads of loads of Carthaginians, and there's a mixture of the more professional sort of Libyan infantry, and then you've got more of those bloody Celts. But to give you an idea of like how much is in here, I mean, like that's not even all of it. Like, I can't actually reach to the bottom. 1 minute. That's all the Carthaginians. And there's a mixture here. Actually, there's more than I thought. Hang on. So this is your Carthaginians, and that's got the professional troops and the Celts on it. And then here, you've actually got like the allied troops. So this represents like the Italian like states, because it wasn't like a unified Rome for a long time. This represents like the Italian states that like Hannibal like took over, and a lot of them like flocked to his banner as well because they didn't like Rome. Like Rome was just like one city, right? And so that's why you'll see some of these guys kind of look like almost like Greek hoplites and stuff. So not only have you got like Hannibal's like professional corps, and you've got like the Celtic mercenaries that he had, but you've also got the like the levies and the allied Italian like citizen soldiery that he got as well. So it really is a very diverse fighting force, which is very, very representative of what like Hannibal had to work with. Like, I think, a lot of, obviously if you know your history, you'll know this already. So apologies when telling you how to like suck eggs and stuff. But one of the things, obviously, in modern times, in the modern world, in modern times, armies are very like, homogenous and very cookie cutter. But in ancient times, that was not the case at all. Like armies were a huge like hodgepodge of different like alliances and like houses and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's kind of what even the Romans who are famous for being like the Roman legions, famous for their professionalism and their fighting ability and their esprit de corps. Even the Roman military made extensive use of auxiliaries. Although I would say that at least for a lot of the Roman existence, it was the fact that their army was fairly homogenous and very organized, and it wasn't like a bunch of people just like banded together. That's what made them so powerful. It was that sort of organization. So yeah, like and I think you can kind of see that reflected in these, because like the Roman infantry sprues that I'm seeing here are all pretty similar, which in a funny sort of way, I think we're all, in a funny sort of way, we're probably all right with, because you want your Romans to be, you want that sort of rippling steel, or iron, I should say, of Roman legions. There are some allied troops down here as well, though. So this sprue is pulling double duty. You've got you've got your Romans, who are all very samey. And then at the bottom here, you've got about, I'd say the same again. Maybe a little bit less. No, pretty well, a little bit less, like 2 or 3 sprues less. You've got allied troops. So even in that's what I was saying, like even the Romans made use of it. So you get the bulk of your army made up by the legions, and then you get to sort of season your force with some of the allied troops. And again, these are the Italian allied troops. So they're not you don't have any Celts in your Roman army, it would seem. Though I'm sure, of course, if you wanted to, you could probably include some. So yeah, that's kind of fucking cool. So there we go. We've got Celts, Carthaginians, allied Italians on both sides, and an absolute shitload of Romans. Holy shit. And also an absolute shitload of bases. Holy fuck. We got a lot of bases as well. My God. This is crazy, man. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Soup, cried the 40k player. Patrick H, you'll definitely need to do some battle bots this. I have a single sprue of Celt infantry from a freebie and a sprue of Celt charts from Warlord Illustrated. I mean, to be honest, man, I feel like this is, this along with K47 is going to be my hobby project for the foreseeable future. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of, I'll get some stuff for 40k, obviously. If I need to fill in any sort of, capability gaps, as it were. But I kind of have, if you can tell from the shelves behind me in every stream, I kind of have nearly all the 40k that I'm ever gonna need. I just need a few Hippogriffs and Centaurs, really, when they come out on sale separately. But other than that, oh, we got Hannibal. Shit, man, I almost missed him. Hannibal's in here. That's cool. So you actually get the big man himself. That's very cool. I accidentally just sort of put those to one side, but yeah. Yeah. There we go. So that is a very, 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 very big box of models. Holy shit. At the moment, for Epic Hail Caesar, I think there's only official models from Warlord for the Romans, the Celts, and the Carthaginians. I got to try and get the... I'm trying to do this almost blind. You can never get these bloody... You can never get the lid back on once you've taken it off. I might just put it to one side rather than struggle. It's one of those things where it's been packed so well that when you adjust it at all, because there's so many models in here, the lid doesn't want to go back on. All right, I'm just gonna leave it rather than struggle with it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do it without having the bloody microphone stuck in my face. That goes there. It's the there it is. It's these bloody things. You guys know me. I don't like being like defeated by that kind of stuff. Yeah. There we go. It's so thick that the moment you disturb it, the models just start exploding out of it. Holy shit, man. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, just to answer that question again, because I feel like I got distracted by putting the lid back on. You can only get Celts, Carthaginians, and Romans from Warlord, but the rules are quite flexible. So you could, like, if you got like Macedonians from like another source, you could represent them with the rules available. And I think same for things like Egypt and stuff like that. So you might need to I think someone said there's like 3D printing or third party things available for that, which makes sense. But you never know if for some reason Warlord sees a massive uptick in Epic Hail Caesar, Epic Hail Caesar sales. Maybe they'll produce some more stuff for it. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how it works, right? If a product's flying off the shelves, it's worth putting do more releases for it. There you go. Why do you think we're getting so much stuff for Conflict 47? Because literally, as every single time Warlord does a run of Conflict stuff, it flies off the shelves. Like they can barely keep up with the demand, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But there you go. So yeah, that just about covers it all. And that is absolutely incredible. So once again, I want to say a massive thank you to Warlord for sending me early access to the plastic American heavy weapons sprues. Plastic 50 cals incoming. That's awesome. A massive thank you to Warlord Games for giving me early access to the Mark 1 plastic automated infantry and the Mark 2 commander and B for Bertie. And a huge, mega bunker busting thank you for sending me a lifetime's supply of epic Hail Caesar. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. That is absolutely awesome. Chat, what do we think? Are we thinking did the hype, did it live up to the hype? Did the hype train go into full flow? I think it might have done. Let us know what you're thinking in chat. And if I end up doing a stream highlight out of this, let us know what you're thinking down in the comment section. There you are. Cyrillic dude, too much. There's too much hype. There's too much hype. There you go. Patrick H, the hype was truly real. There you go. The box did deliver. There you are. Keep the pure soul. I'm jealous, bro. Amazing. Holt says, yeppers. Nope says, well done, Warlord. McCon says, I'm at full mast. Constantine says, I have busted a major rift. I'm currently being resurrected as a totem core. Amazing. Alfarius, also, do you think the Onaga Dreamcore legs would work as legs to make my own Thor or Wotan? Like, are they the right size? I think you could absolutely... I don't know, because I've never built the Onaga Dreamcaller, but Alfarius, I'd say this. Conflict 47 is way less, like, picky about models being exactly right. And stuff like that. If you made, like, this isn't 40k, where everything has to be the exact dimensions. The moment you stray from it, people start saying you can't use that model in game. Like, if you kit bashed a Wotan using Onaga Dreamcaller legs, that would be sick as fuck, and people would be like, that's a cool model, that's awesome, let's play with it. Do you see what I mean? It's a very different... the game isn't like so focused on like the competitive side of things. It's barely focused on it, to be honest. So there's no real need to like don't model for advantage, obviously. Don't take the piss. But, as long as you're sort of adhering to the honor system, as it were, then kit bash away and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Cosmic's always kit bashing stuff. Bro, B for built Bertie. Bertie is built. Look at him. He's pretty fucking sick, isn't he? We're gonna have to do a painting stream on B for Bertie. I think we're gonna have to do it. What have we got here? Mad Larkin, I think the K47 stuff was supposed to be mailed to me. You wish, bro. You fucking wish. Alfarius, I know I am very 40k mad, haha. I just always double check and try and confirm people if it's similar enough. Any model for advantage? Nah, I usually just advantage myself for aesthetic. Well, dude, that's the way to do it, man. That is the way to do it. Absolutely. Holy shit. Well, we got a member flex coming here from Snowpiece. Snowpiece, thank you for the 5 months, man. Play the Bertie song. I tell you what, mate. We'll have the Bertie song players out. Send me the link in Discord now, and I'll pick it up and put it in the queue. And then when we sign off, we'll have it the song that plays us out. There you go, man. All right. All righty ho ho. So that is the big box. I guess What do we want to do next, chat? We could do some just chatting. We could build some of the stuff. We could build and maybe because it's not been raining today, we could build and I could prime and maybe even paint some of the stuff that we've seen. So it's kind of up to you guys. What direction do you want to take the stream in? Just chatting, or a bit of building and hobbying, just having a look at what we've got our hands on here. I am a man of the people. I will go in whatever direction you guys think you'd like. Well, whatever direction you want to see. Holt, what would you rate that box? From 1 to 10. The Hannibal box. I think the Epic Hail Season. I think all of the Epic Hail Season stuff is such good value for money. I would give the Hannibal box a solid 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's really like it's something ridiculously cheap considering you get like 2 full armies in it and like the rules and everything. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Holy shit, I've just seen something else. Oh, do you guys want more Warlord hype? Like, can you guys take any more hype? So the Celtic army that you saw was £70. And that contains everything that you see there. So you get like 1, 2, 3. You get 4 big bricks of infantry, 4 sort of lances of cavalry, 6 chariots, some commanders, and a lot of skirmishers. And then the Hannibal box set, which is what we just saw, is 240 quid. So it's, you know, it's as expensive as 2 combat patrols and some rules, basically. It's probably cheaper than 2 combat patrols and 2 codexes, to be fair. And as you can see, like there's so much in the box you can't fit it all on the thing. So you get this times 6, you get this times 6, this times 6, for example. So you do get a lot in the box. So 240 quid, like it's not a cheap box set, but you know, considering you are getting like literally 2 absolutely massive armies, I don't think you could turn your nose up at it too much. I mean, you're getting a ridiculous amount of Celts at the same. You know, you're probably getting enough to do. If you wanted to, you could probably get enough to do a Celt army and a Carthaginian army and a Roman army. You're probably getting 3 armies out of it. To be fair, when you look at it, look, you're getting 9 bricks of Celts plus a bunch of cavalry. You're probably getting, yeah, you're actually getting more Celts than you would for the Celtic army, I think, or maybe similar, maybe a similar amount. Yeah, it's pretty close one way or another. So yeah, you basically get the better part of a Celt army and a full Carthaginian army and a full Roman army. Yeah. The paper saying Scipio you got in there is a separate board game, 2 games in 1 box. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's very, very cool. Yeah. So there you go. That's yeah, so you're getting a lot for you're getting a lot in the box for sure. For sure. What have we got next? A gaming Stuka. Thank you so much for the thank you so much for 35 with Nunflex. Have you seen the new Panzer IIs? Wait. Is that what I saw before? I thought it was Italian stuff. Oh my god. I just thought it was some new Italian shit. Oh my god. Hype train, the warlord hype train knows no breaks. Holy shit, man. Holy shit, bro. I totally missed this. Hey, it's a pretty good price. Well, let's have a look. All right, let's go. Gentlemen, I don't mean to alarm you, but Warlord Games has only gone and done it again. They've just gone and bloody shadow dropped one of the coolest updates for like bolt action. I mean, I think I kid you not, I've been waiting for this for maybe, well, for as long as I played bolt action, which is like 10 years. They've come out with the bloody plastic Panzer IIs. Holy shit, man. And it's a pretty good price as well, like 23 quid. Like normally the tanks are like £25, so I guess it's a little smaller, right? But 23 quid for a plastic Panzer II. Now I think they currently do offer them in resin as well. Yeah, so the resin one is between £27.50 and £29. So they've brought it out in plastic and it's actually gone down in price, which is, let me tell you, apparently that can't be done in other companies, but it can be done in Warlord. Warlord just updates their website and doesn't say a thing. I swear to God, someone at Warlord is just like a big fan of Oblivion. Because remember when like Oblivion just like the remasters like shadow dropped, and sort of Warlord's been like, yeah, everyone loved it when that happened. Why don't we try that with our updates as well? Fucking hell. Plastic Panzer IIs. I wonder if we got any sprue pictures. Now, I don't know if you could use these as the Lynx variant. I feel like the Lynx variant is slightly differently laid out, but I could be wrong. But Panzer IIs, for those of you wondering like why it's quite a big deal, Panzer IIs are a really, really, really popular tank in bolt action because they're, I mean, obviously this isn't the most like historical thing because Panzer IIs were obviously quite obsolete after, well, basically like day one. You know, day one of the war. You know, the Panzer III and the Panzer IV, you know, get a lot of the credit, but actually a huge amount of the German armored fleet on day one was bulked out with Panzer Is and Panzer IIs, which didn't really have any business being on the front lines, but, you know, a tank's a tank at the end of the day. And the thing about the Panzer II, which makes it a popular tank in bolt action, is the fact that it's very cheap because it's basically like, it's like I'm pretty certain it's like armor 7. I don't even think it's armor 8. It's like armor 7, so it's very low armor, which makes it very cheap. And then it comes with an autocannon. And so being and like autocannons are very good in the game. And so basically you can get like a little Panzer II like swarm going, but like a TIE swarm and like X-Wing or something like that. You can get like a Panzer II swarm going. And they're really good. And you know, you can either swarm them if you want to be a bit cheesy, or if you want to sort of be a little bit more historical, you can, you know, take your sort of bigger tanks like your Panzer IIIs, your Panzer IVs, and stuff like that, and you know, bulk you maybe take 2 of those, and then bulk your armored force out with a third like cheaper Panzer II, which would actually kind of represent how they were used as well. So yeah, it's a very, very handy tank to have for a whole number of reasons, and I can tell you right now, this is going to be a popular one. I think you're going to see Panzer IIs popping up left, right, and center in all sorts of battle reports and all that, and all sorts of like after action reports and all sorts of bolt action content. And it's kind of funny. I bet you these things will be pretty popular in like K47 as well, because you know, I tell you what's quite handy for when you've got like an Ursus or a Shrek Wolf or something barreling down on you. Just a good old Panzer II just slotting 2 autocannon rounds at its chest. Yeah, so these are pretty they're pretty nifty. Although I think they look a little bit out of place in K47. I think if you were to justify having them in a K47 list, you might have to you know, build your army around some sort of like reserve platoon. You know, do you know what I mean? Like this has been pulled out of storage in a moment of desperation, kind of thing. But you could make it work and you could theme it. There you are. Hey, I like the box they've done for it. That's very, very cool. It does seem like Warlord is moving away from the Osprey art, which I am both happy and sad about, because on the one hand, I do think that Osprey art is gorgeous, and I do think, and as someone who's a big fan of some of the old Warhammer Fantasy art, like the old, you know, State Troop and State Troop art for Empire and Militia for Empire and zombies and skeletons, you know, I do love traditional artwork. I do, but at the same time, I also kind of like seeing I kind of like seeing models on the boxes in like sort of cool, almost like semi-diorama settings. So yeah, like as much as I am gonna miss the Osprey art on, I don't think it's going away completely. I just think Warlord's doing a bit of both. As much as as much as it's sad not to have the Osprey art here, I think on its own 2 legs, I think this does look quite good. It's kind of like with the Cross of Iron box and the Reichs Praetorian box. It's like, yeah, those pictures were just good enough that even though they weren't Osprey art, it was awesome. That kind of thing.
You heard me. I said
That's kind of
free.
cool. So yeah, I do love seeing models in like diorama stuff like that. So we haven't seen the sprues yet though. So there's no sprue pictures, but we've seen the models. So the description says, reinforce your light arm with the Panzer II. The Panzer II is the most numerous tank at the start of the World War II, and thus formed the backbone of the Panzer divisions, made legendary in the Blitzkrieg campaigns across Western Europe. Lightly armed and armoured and already technologically outclassed by heavier vehicles, it nonetheless gave good service, particularly against enemy infantry. Panzer II saw its own service in Europe and North Africa in the early part of the war, and would also play a significant role in Operation Barbarossa. The invasion of the Soviet Union, replacing frontline service by the larger and more modern Panzer III and IV. Some Panzer II remained in service with training units and second line formations until the end of the war. On the tabletop, the Panzer II is a powerful addition to the early war German armored platoons, giving you a low-cost armored platoon platform mounted with the incredibly useful light autocannon, capable of gunning down enemy infantry with ease and threatening lighter armored vehicles. It can punch far above its weight in games of bolt action. I think that's an accurate description. There we are. I think it's an accurate description. I will say, one thing I have noticed, it does seem to be an Italiari model. So I know that for some people that might be a bit of a concern, because Italiari models can be a bit hit and miss. But I will say this, I think Italiari models, it comes down to whether they build multiple variants or not. And this one is only building the Panzer II. And so I think the Italiari Stug is a bit of a pisser. But I built the Italiari Cromwell recently, and it took me like 20 minutes to build. It was a piece of piss. So hopefully this will end up being a nice model to build. Yeah, it really does come down. It really is like, it does vary from kit to kit. It really does. And like I said, I think, Warlord has been, I think, it's kind of interesting. I think Warlord have been trying to increase their production capacity as much as possible, because things have been, because Conflict 47 and Bolt Action have been absolutely popping off. They've been absolutely popping off. Like I said, Warlord has definitely been, as fast as they can produce the stuff, it's going out the door kind of thing. So I wonder if maybe there's been a case of like, all right, you know, we need to increase our production capacity. What's one way we can do that? Like maybe like subcontraction. So it might be one of those sort of funny things where it's like, you know, it's a good problem to have, if that makes sense. Like it's in a funny sort of way. And this isn't cope. I mean this as like a genuine sort of like smile on my face. You know, I recognize that, you know, maybe the Italiari stuff might have a few people worried, but it has a smile on my face because I wonder if there's an element of like, you know, this is sort of Warlord upping their production capacity because they're just selling so much stuff. Yeah. Now, not only do you get the Panzer II tank, you can also get a Panzer II bundle. So if you and you know what's funny, Warlord often does these bundles, and they often do these bundles, and I don't think a lot of people get them. And I think the reason why is because they do like the Tiger 1 bundle or like the Panther bundle. And it's like, no one needs 3 Tiger 1s. I know what some of you are thinking. I need 3 Tiger 1s. No, you don't. You don't. You want 3 Tiger 1s, but you don't really need 3 Tiger 1s. 1, maybe 2 is enough, but that third one, you're definitely getting diminishing returns. Unless you're doing some sort of like big epic, do you know what I mean? Like some sort of like big epic, like narrative or historical battle, then yeah, maybe you might need that many. Like when we did Kursk, I ended up facing off against like 11 Tiger 1s, for example. But I think the Panzer II bundle's actually going to be really popular because it's a much cheaper light tank. And like I said, there is a genuine like sort of competitive angle to these, or more, you know, as much as there is for Bot Action, like meta angle for these, where like 3 of them, you start getting the Panzer swarm going. You get the P2 swarm going. So, yeah, it might be kind of interesting. Like, I think the bundle might end up being not just a meme, but actually like a go-to way of collecting these things. So you can take advantage of them on the battlefield. And then I've also seen this as well, which I'll probably do like, you guys know me, I love doing my starter army sort of breakdowns and stuff like that, and bundle breakdowns. But we've got a new bundle here from Warlord, which is the Barbarossa bundle, which seems to come with basically quite a large army. So it looks like you get, well, hopefully it'll give us the full details in the description, but it looks like you get like 30 of the veteran infantry. You get one of the heavy weapon platoons as well. This is plastic. And then it looks like you get a couple of transports, like you get the Hanomag and you get the Opel Blitz truck. And then you're getting 2 of the plastic Panzer IIs, and then you're getting the Panzer 38T, which is actually kind of cool that they've included that, because that is historically very accurate. I think something like the most common tank the Germans used in Operation Barbarossa wasn't a German tank. It was a Czech tank. It's the Panzer 38T. Like, yeah, it's one of those like funny things that because they seized them all from Czechoslovakia. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. And then you've got a bunch of dudes on bikes. So okay. So you've got giving you a complete force with a huge range of options for squads and weapon teams, and presenting a great saving on buying the components individually. This bundle is the perfect way to launch your own invasion on the tabletop, and can also be used to represent earlier forces in the latter stages of the Blitzkrieg across Western Europe. So you get 42 plastic infantry, so you actually get a platoon plus 2 extra sprues, which is going to be amazing, because you also get the heavy weapons platoon. So you could use those extra infantry to basically double the amount of heavy weapons you get. So you're easily getting 1250 points from this. Like, easily. And then you're getting 5 plastic vehicles, and you're getting 10 3D printed resin troops on bicycles. That's so interesting. That's fucking... It turns out that Warlord Games is like fully embracing 3D printing. That's crazy. Holy shit, man. The third bike. I love that. Like, that's crazy. Like, Warlord Games, I think, 3D printing has been, it's a bit of a, like, it's the boogeyman of miniature wargaming for a lot of companies. And do you know what's funny? I feel like until we had the drama with the Soviet starter set, I feel like Warlord Games was kind of in a similarly entrenched mindset towards 3D printing as like Games Workshop. And then basically needs must. And they were forced to come up with a solution for the Soviet starter army. That solution ended up being 3D printing. And now they're like, well, no one minded that we 3D printed. And it actually was quite an extra production line that we could use. Because remember that, like I said, they're hitting production capacity in a few areas. It's an extra production line we could use. So actually, why aren't we using this? This is just another tool for us to have in our toolbox. It's just another, we're not going to 3D print everything, but just like making things out of like traditional resin or out of Cyocast or out of metal. It's like, why aren't we making things out of 3D print? It's just another sort of small scale form of production that we can use to economically and efficiently produce low volume, things that aren't going to be needed in plastic, low volume niche products. Yeah. It's crazy. Like it's funny, sometimes I just think it's kind of an interesting thing. I have no idea if that's what's happened, by the way. I want to make them clear. Like, Warlord hasn't communicated that to me in any way, shape, or form. That's just my sort of speculation on the whole thing. But it is funny how, like, we saw, Warlord didn't even touch 3D printing, and then the Soviet thing happened, and then now they've released 3D files for like conflict, and they're producing things with action in it and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of interesting. I think Anvil Industries and Victoria Miniatures are also shifting towards 3D printing versus spin casting. I mean, it makes sense. Unless you are producing things at an incredible volume, it makes sense to, look down these avenues of other forms of production. And I think one of the things that I think Warlord does very well is they don't necessarily use one form of production to replace another. They just use like the best production method for the product. So, like, for example, a good sort of parallel here is Games Workshop went to Finecast because they didn't want, not because it was the best product, even though they told everyone it was a good product, not because it was actually better for like for the products they were making, but just because it was cheaper. And look at the disaster that was. Whereas, Warlord Games, I think, is like, okay, well, sometimes we need to make bits out of metal, like certain like barrels and stuff. We don't want those to be made out of like resin so they warp. So some things we're going to make out of like metal because that's the right thing to make. That's the right product that's the right system for that product. And some things we're going to make out of plastic because we sell enough of it. And some things we're gonna use Warlord resin for. Some things we're gonna use traditional resin for. And some things we're gonna use 3D printing for. And like, it's not about having one or the other. It's about using all of the options you have available to use the right production method. Because I think one of the things, I don't know, I have said this, we're going a bit off topic, so I'm just going to mention it in passing. I do think that like Games Workshop is being a bit strange with this obsession with producing everything in plastic. I think there's a whole bunch of products that GW really doesn't need to produce in plastic. Like, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but how, maybe this isn't a great example, but like how many people are going to buy like Valdor tank hunters for Horus Heresy? Probably not that fucking many. Like, how many people are going to buy bloody Arvus lighters? Like, I've bought basically all of them. Well, I'm going to, I should say. But like most of the time, they're just not, they don't need to produce that stuff in plastic. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of funny how like GW is obsessed with everything being in plastic. And maybe they've got to the point where even if they're so big that even a limited run is worth doing in plastic. But I do think that it's more of a bragging thing and a prestige thing. And I think actually the smart thing to do is to use the right method of production for whatever product that you're making. Yeah. But there you go. This is a pretty good bundle. And so you're going to get 42 plastic infantry, 10 infantry on bikes. So that's 52 infantry, 5 vehicles, including 3 tanks, and then you're going to have a shitload of heavy weapons. I mean, I'm talking, you're probably getting 2 Panzerschrecks, 2 mortars, and 4 medium machine guns. So this is well over 1250 points. I mean, especially if you start taking stuff as veteran, like the infantry as veteran, I think you're probably looking at 1,500 to 2,000 points. So you are getting more than enough. You are getting a full, more than a full bolt action army for 195 quid, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. At least that's what I think anyway. Yeah. Nice. Nice. All right. Where are we up to? I think we've got some super chats coming in here. Let's have a look. Cosway Drew, thank you for super chat. How's that box versus the GW box? Also, 50 cals, get some. So the Hannibal box is £240, which does make it a little bit more, makes it about 60 quid more than the GW box. But it's only $384, which makes it only a little bit more than the relatively speaking, it's not that much more expensive than the GW Star box. So one Hannibal box gets you 3 armies and costs you a bit more than the GW box. Or you get the GW box and that gets you not even half of 2 armies. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. So it looks like a good deal to me. Ross W, thank you so much. If we hobby it stained, could it be? I don't know if we'll have time for some hobbying now. I mean, we might have some time for a bit of building. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to take any song requests. You can, if you want, remind me next week and I'll do that one for you for free next week if you want. Like you've sort of pre-ordered it almost, as it were. Because I don't want this stream to get blocked or banned because it's got music in it. Because I want people to be able to go and like watch to be able to see this after it's gone live. Yeah. So I'll probably just stick with the non-copyright background music for tonight, but you can have that one next week, mate. Mr. Marlowe, thank you for the 42 months, man. First Cadian recon guy done in chat. Firstly, X-Force, baby. And then secondly, let's have a look at the model. Nice. First guy done. Steel Legion. Yes, bro. He looks sick, man. Dude, he looks so good. God, all GW needed to do was give us a fucking head swap. God damn it, GW. Dude, he looks sick as fuck, mate. He looks sick as fuck. Nice. Tight. Dude, I love it, man. Awesome. What have we got next? Tom, thank you for super chat. Not as out of place as the L3/35s I bring. What is that for? What's the L3/35? 1 minute. Oh, is that the Italian tankettes? Are you bringing those in conflict? You absolute mad bastard. I love it. They're probably quite good, actually. Cosmic, thank you for Super Chat, bro. Behold the green vault in stream discussion. I'm in a painting frenzy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Behold the balanced collection of rift-enhanced art. Much like Augustus the Strong had his own personal green vault of porcelain. The bard used materials radiated and with rift energy to craft his own personal art, and he stores his own personal green vault. Each statue radiates a massive amount of rift power. What he does with these rift statues, nobody knows, but they're his finest collection. Among his most treasured pieces is Timothy Voss Glory's bust, which embodies the ideas of the Green Vault, and was the first to come over from the right. Stop it. The statue of his late wife who perished under mysterious circumstances. Fucking hell, Cosmic Dark. And oh no, not mine, the Baron's. And finally, the Rift Dragon is the most powerful piece of art. Some say contains a small rift itself. Many would sacrifice thousands just to get hold of a piece of this rift energy. The Baron keeps it locked away under his personal guard. Many of these pieces were forged by artisans who stared into the rift, gaining visions of crafting materials. Those artists would later perish. All they know is the Baron holds these and will defend it with his life and the lives of his men. Bohemia stands. Hail the Green Vault. That's so cool, man. I love the idea of like these being like statues. You could use them as like objective markers and stuff. So cool. I love the world building, man. And the sort of irradiated sort of metallic paint you've used is so cool. Nice. So, dude, I love it, mate. Hey, we got the big titty statue as well. That's not me. All right, dude, I love it, man. Excellent stuff. What have we got next? The lower decks always tip your driver in stream discussion. Sir, we might be in a spot of bother. The Aquila can take a few hits, but it is largely fragile. The first few enforcers to arrive have been stopped by the heavy stubber, but it will not hold them long. The Vox is just static at this point. Jamming or just lack of interest in the Pure Legion, it's hard to tell. With their perimeter set, the enforcers pepper us with shots and las beams, but I think they are waiting for heavier troops. Sororitas most likely. I can make a break for the Aquila, but we are sure to be shot down in short order. The static from the Vox ceases. I can hear a voice, muffled by its wooden mask, but distinct in its high-pitched falsetto squeak. He's not going to be happy about that. Colonel Tiki, dinner is served. I can't even do it. Dinner is served. Before confusion can set in, I see them. Every delivery driver across the hive is swarming to us. Cars, trucks, bikes, rickshaws, drones, and dirigibles slam into and around the enforcers. As I board the Aquila for liftoff, it's all I can do to marvel at the screening employed by the Legion. We are away. They fucking deliver-ooed. They deliver-ooed. They door-dashed a rescue. I love that. Let's have a look. When you forget you're playing a chaotic evil character. I love it. That's awesome, man. All right. What have we got next? Cosmic Drew, thank you for super chat. Tim Spriggs has a question for you, sir, and show the worm. Oh, that's true. If we're showing off a giant box of goodies, we also have to show off Cosmic's worm. Yes, he did paint the pink end. The end pink, I should say. Spriggs, I think Spriggs has done a super chat as well. Thank you, super chat, man. What did you get in the box? Also go to bed. Don't worry, I'm going to bed in half an hour. There you are. So I'm not staying up late. Just doing a quick stream tonight. What did I get in the box? I got plastic American heavy weapon teams. I got plastic Mark 1 infantry. I got plastic Mark II Commander. I got B for Bertie in plastic. And then I got a Epic Hail Caesar Celt army. And I got an Epic Hail Caesar Hannibal set. So I basically got all the Epic Hail Caesar plus loads of early access shit for FK47, which is awesome. Spriggs, where's my lighter? The armless lighters. Look, right. I have every intention of doing the lighter core one day. But I'm not going to lie to you, gentlemen. It does kind of feel like it feels like it's entering that same stage where I have I had every intention to paint those eBay orcs. Nah, I will do. I will get the lighters. I need to I've actually found a good place where I can get them from now. So I probably just need to I just need to get what I want to do is just get an airbrush. The lighter core, I just need to basically get the lighters. So the thing is, I wanted to do it with the official GW kits. But I built 2 of them. And then I was just like, this is a night. Like, they're all right to build. Like, at the time, I was like, oh, these aren't too bad to build. But then I was like, it took me quite a while to build them. And then it took me quite a while to paint them as well. And I was like, all right. I need a better way of doing this than the way that I am doing it. So I think what I'm gonna do is basically there's like some third-party ones, like 3D printed ones you can get, and I might 3D print them, or I might just buy them 3D printed. But they're like basically, and like they're not in many parts at all. You just like smash them together very quickly. So that'll take that bit of pain out. And then also, I want the airbrush so I can actually paint them. Because it took me like 6 hours to paint like one harvest lighter. And I was like my traditional way of doing it. And I just thought, this is soul destroying. Do you know what I mean? I'm very very not going to be able to do this another 46 times, but whatever. However, I can't even remember how many it was. It was a ridiculous amount of hours, lighters. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I think I have been thinking about a better way of doing the project, and I think that's the way I have to do it. Yeah, it's a lot of time for a meme. Yeah, exactly. But I don't like letting the community down, and I've never broken a pledge to the community before. Like the eBay orcs, I don't even really count, because it's like, that was more of a meme. That was just like, the community didn't tell me to do that. I said I would paint them, but like, I think one day I'll get around to it. Probably not though. It's weird. Like, you'd think orcs would be a perfect army for me, but I just struggle to paint them. Like, they're all right, but I don't know. I just sort of struggle to just sit down and just do it. I don't know what it is these days. I don't know what it is. It's not that I have a problem with painting. I paint shitloads of stuff. I just, I guess I kind of struggle to paint for like the sake of painting in many ways. Like, I like to paint stuff that I know I'm going to use. So that's why, like, I think I've struggled with like the eBay orcs and stuff, because I in my heart, I'm just not that bothered about. I should have a green tide, bro. I don't know. I need like some tournaments or something. Do you know what I mean? I need like some tournament, something where like where I pledge myself to like taking green tide and stuff, like a tournament. Yeah, I'll see what the points look like in 11th, and if I can build like a good green tide. Okay, the thing is with the green tide, I just want to run Orc Boys, and the fact that I can only run 120 Orc Boys kind of pisses me off. Because it's like I paint all the boys that I want, and then it's like, oh, and now I need to start taking stuff I don't want. Whereas I just want to take like an army of just Orc Boys led by characters, and I can't do that. I have to start fucking around pretending some of beast snaggers and stuff, and I'm just not into it. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that's holding me back on it. Squidface, it was 27 armor sliders. I'm sure it was more than that, wasn't it? If it's only 27, maybe I've been thinking in my head it's more than it actually is. Give me a second. I have the list here. I kept thinking it was 50. Oh shit, I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, it's 20. Okay, it's 27 and 1 Marauder Destroyer. It's not so bad then. Okay, I think I've been building it up in my... I think I've been bigging it up in my head more than I thought it was. I could probably do 27. I'll tell you what I was thinking of doing, though. I was thinking of maybe doing some as Arvis Lighters and then doing some squadrons of other vehicles, other flyers as well. So, like, to break it up a bit. So, you know, do a whole bunch of them as Arvis Lighters, but then get like a squadron of like Thunderbolts and that, you know, I don't know. That's kind of what because I felt like once you reach, I think after like a dozen Arvis Lighters, you are reaching diminishing returns in many ways. So it's kind of like go for an Air Force instead. Was kind of what I was thinking. But because I don't think people would really mind if they got a Thunderbolt rather than an Arvis Lighter. I don't think they'd really mind if they got a Lightning rather than an Arvis Lighter. Do you know what I mean? Some people wouldn't mind if they got an Avenger rather than an Arvis Lighter. Yeah, but like going for like the whole sort of like Air Force might be like a better way of doing it. But I'll see. Yeah. So yeah, like I do, like I still, you can see like, obviously I haven't forgotten about the project and I'm not completely ducking it. And I think I probably have been getting in my own head about it a little bit. But it is probably one of those things that I just need to like sit down and just like do. Yeah. Just sit down and just fucking do it. So there you go. What do we got next? DMAC, thank you for 22 months. Is Overrun the death of Mech Guard? No. I thought it was at first, but now I'm not so sure. Because let's say you have a Catachan squad inside a Chimera. For someone to kill both of those things by Overrun, they're going to need to commit 2 units. 1 to kill the Chimera and 1 to kill the squad inside. Now, whilst that might be, you know, a little bit of a pisser for us to lose both, rather than the ideal situation where the Chimera dies and the infantry spill out onto the objective, it's probably not that bad when you realize that, well, they've had to expose probably more than 150 points worth of stuff to kill your 150 points worth of stuff. And then you can clap back and kill both of those units, because at the end of the day, this is 40k. If something's exposed, it's probably dead, unless it's an extreme example like a Catan. If something's exposed, it's probably dead. So actually, I don't think it's much all that different, because I think typically what tended to happen anyway is people would just like shoot the Chimera, shoot the Chimera to death, and then charge the guys inside if they were going to kill both. And that's probably still the more efficient way of trying to do it. Now, if you want my personal opinion on what I think is the death of Mech Guard, I think it's Battle Shock. If it changes the way, if it doesn't change, because right now what happens is if your infantry squad is forced to disembark from a transport because the transport's been destroyed, they automatically count as battle shocked. Now, at the moment, that's not the end of the world because it comes over to your turn and then your squad isn't battle shocked anymore. But now, in 11th, if a unit is battle shocked, it stays battle shocked, and you have to try and pass a test to become, to restore squad morale. And so that's a much bigger problem for Met Guard. That's probably the death of Met Guard right there. Yeah. That's probably the death of it. Because it's probably the ideal scenario is someone, if someone kills your transport, the infantry spill onto the objective and you get to keep that at the beginning of your turn. Well, that goes completely to shit if you fail a 50-50 roll. Well, nearly a 50-50 roll. Now, obviously, it is important to note that getting out, emergency disembarking from a transport might not auto battle shock you anymore. That might change. But if it doesn't change, then that is a big problem. Yeah. There are ways around it, of course. You could have a commissar within 12 inches. But then, or you could have a commissar attached to the squad pushing forward. But that means that's an extra 30 points you got to spend. So it's makes the whole thing less efficient. But we'll wait and see what the points are like, because it might end up balancing out. Like if you're spending 30 more points on your Met Guard kind of stuff, but then you're saving points elsewhere, like on artillery and stuff, then maybe it'll pan out. Maybe it'll be all right. And you can always have a commissar who's like not on the front lines. You just sort of pre-measure it so he's within 12 of the squad if they do disembark onto the objective, right? You can play smart around it. So there are ways you can probably do it, but one way or another, it's becoming less efficient, whether it's efficiency of action or efficiency of points. I just want to check if the commissar actually needs to be able to see the guy he's blamming. Give me a second. No, he doesn't. So to be fair, the commissar does not need to have line of sight to if you look at the rules here, he does not need line of sight to the unit he's blamming. It just says once per battle round at the start of any phase, you can select one friendly Ashman time infantry unit that is battle shocked within the 12-inch model. If you do one model that is destroyed and that unit is no longer battle shocked. So he can execute someone through like walls and out of line of sight and stuff. So yeah, so there is you could have the commissar like in the second line, and he could do, he could be a good insurance. He could probably cover a couple of squads that way. So that might mean it's not so bad. Rather than like it being an extra 30 points per mech squad, if you're taking like 6 of them, it's only like 15 points per mech squad. So it could balance out in the big picture. It could be a bit, yeah. Can Graves' vehicle help? Oh, yeah, Graves' vehicle can help as well. I don't know if she needs line of sight either, but I don't think she will do. If the basic commissar doesn't, I don't think she does. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, Graves' commissar could help. Graves' vehicle could help. That could be a big one. Yeah, for Met Guard, which is cool. What do we got next? King Hazard, thank you for the member flex, sir. Thank you for doing your part. Hope the honeymoon went well. It did. It went very well. Got married and had a honeymoon in a very nice hot country. I'm absolutely loving it. 2, how's the cat? The cat's fine. His bum is no longer exploded, but he does have a slightly gammy eye at the moment. He keeps doing this with his eye. I think it's just bothering him slightly. We're keeping an eye on it and we're just cleaning it, but it's not vet visit worthy. Yeah. There you are. King Hazard, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for another super. Dude, double support, man. Thank you. Engineers and Kree Command Squad in Chimera would also be good. Kinda. It's just not very points efficient, bro, because the 5 engineers are like 70 points. And then the Kree Command Squad stops the engineer squad from scouting, including when they're in a transport. So, like, on paper, it works, but in reality, it doesn't really work. Especially when you take into account that the Kree Command Squad's regimental standards no longer protects your OC if you're battle shocked. Because battle shock now reduces your OC to dash, and dash can't be modified. It used to be you went down to 0, and then the regimental standard gave you +1, so you went back to being on a 1, which was good. Now it goes to dash, and any characteristic that's a dash can't be modified in any way, shape, or form. So it doesn't really... It's not really a good combo, to be honest. You'd be better off just putting a Commissar in there. Yeah. Rather than the command squad. And even then, you'd... Krieg Command gives you orders when battle shock, though, for the leadership. Yeah, but the only order that you'd care about in that situation would be duty and honor, and you can't, and it wouldn't help you, because duty and honor would give you +1 OC, and you can't modify objective control, when it's dash, so it wouldn't help you. And you could be like, oh well, if you maybe you would just like pass your leadership because you'd be on leadership 6, plus duty and honor, you'd be on leadership 5. So maybe you would just pass your leadership. You'd just have a good reliability on passing your leadership. But again, it's just, you know what's more reliable? A 30-point commissar who just goes bang. Now you've definitely passed your leadership. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have its merits and doesn't work. I'm just saying it's a much less efficient way of it. You can absolutely do it, but you're spending more than double the points when you could just go commissar. Now, obviously, Commissar points go up and Krieg Command Squad points come down, then we might have a different conversation. But until then, I think it's an option. It's just not the best option. It's a backup. Yeah. Commissar's getting a useful role is pretty neat. I would say I am very, very okay. Don't get me wrong, right? I am saying how, like, it's going to get less efficient and it's going to be a problem for, like, Met Guard and stuff. But if you notice, am I raging? Am I crashing out? Am I spitting my dummy out? I'm not. I'm actually pretty chill about the entire thing. And the reason I'm pretty chill about it is because Elden Lean is absolutely right. It's immersive. Because you know what wasn't very immersive? Commissar's most effective role being a lone op going into strategic reserve to do secondary objectives.
One rule. Everyone fights.
That's not very commissarial. That's not very commissarial at all. But you know what absolutely is commissarial? Blam. So yeah, this is what I've said about the indirect fire rules. This is what I said. This is what I said about the indirect fire rules and something else as well. And this is what I'm saying about the commissars, where it's like, I don't actually mind if something gets worse if it feels right. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't mind. I never collected the guard because I was powerful. I've collected guard for 22 years. The only time guard has not been a pretty bad faction was really 10th edition. We got away with murder in 10th edition. I think we did I think even with our 42% win rate, I think once you got good with guard, and there's a reason why by the end of 10th edition, guard were one of the top 3 factions, because I've always said once you get good with guard, you get unstoppable. And after 3 years, the only people still playing guard, or the vast majority of people still playing guard, were ones that had got good with them, and that's why we were like the best faction at the end of the edition. But like I said from day one, we were the best faction. Like I said, I can't believe other people aren't really talking about this. But end of 9th was fine as well. You're right, Jason Whalen. But was like 6 months. But like the only edition where, other than like 5th edition, the only edition where guard have just been like consistently like legit has been 10th. So 5th, 10th, I'm looking forward to 15th edition. But yeah, I've never wanted my guard to be utterly dog shit. I don't want to like waste my time turning up. But at the same time, like, as long as I've got a half decent set of rules, I'm much more interested in my units feeling right. I'm much more interested in me being able to come up with fun themed vibe armies. I'm much more interested in my guard feeling like guard. Much more interested in that than my guard being overpowered. So that's why, like, yeah, Battle Shock's fucking us a little bit, but I don't mind because it makes commissars be commissars again. Yeah, indirect fire is kind of a nerf, but it now works more thematically. Yeah. What do we got next? It's a me, Marco. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, baby. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Woo! Thank you very much, sir, for the support. Thank you for the extra 10 conscripts to hold the line in the name of the Emperor. Thank you for doing your part, sir. Thank you, bro. Commander AJL, thank you for the gifted membership, and thank you for fitting it through a hole in a piece of paper. 07, sir. Snowbeast T, thank you for super chat. Feudal Guard in stream discussion. Let's take a look.
When it comes to fighting crime, there's only one man keeping the streets safe.
Tomorrow, the Feudal Guard marches in AOS Spearhead. Not fully painted, but I settled on my Templar-inspired scheme, which I'm very fond of. I also want to share bad news and one good. Bad, my PC got a virus Monday, and it spammed my contacts for a scam. So if any of you see unusual activity from my account, be careful. I should have regained control by now, but I'm careful. The hacker was located in the UK, so I'm suspicious of you, MG. It was the day you came back. The good news is I'm all in on Linux, and my first print on it, the Execrator Chaplain Kit Basher's Jump Pack Chat from Armageddon Box, is ready, so I'm happy with this win. It took days of work to reset my whole PC and migrate to a safe environment, and it's working better than Windows is a huge W. Yeah, I think I need to go over to Linux at some point. Yeah. They do look cool, man. Nice. Nice. I love that. Haha, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Love that shit, bro. So, awesome army. Shame about the virus, but hey, it sounds like you managed to get it under control, which is always good news. Which is always awesome. There you are. What have we got next? We've got King Hazard. Thank you for the Bane Blade. Yes. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Mostly a wedding present, but also let's rage about the Vestroyan platoon not being an actual platoon.
I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
Oh,
If you don't do your job, I'll shoot
right.
you.
Wait, are we trying to like manhunt Mad Larkin? Oh my god. I tell you what, King Hazard.
One rule. Everyone fights,
Let me grab a
no one
drink
quits.
and let me give you some genuine thoughts on the Vestroyan platoon. And then when I come back, and I'll come back, and then after that, we'll look at. Looks like people are trying to bloody manhunt. So we'll look at what's going on there. So give me a second. I can't. I'm not going to stay up too much long because I do have to be up early tomorrow. But give me a second. I can see that we're going to be like half an hour longer. So I'm just going to grab a quick drink. So talk amongst yourselves.
Infantry, sir.
Good for you. Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
Infantry, sir.
Good for you. Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
comes to fighting crime, there's only one man keeping the streets safe while keeping it real. Indeed.
No, but I'm just gonna show my entire army of bots and take it. Big risks. All right. Let's have a look here. So, King Hazard. I have presented a very balanced opinion on the Destroying Firstborn pre-order. Because I have tried to be less of a salty boy. I've tried to be more objective. I've tried to be more reasonable. But sometimes salt is necessary. And so I'm just going to say it. GW pulled some fucking bullshit with that made to order. Oh my god. They pulled some bullshit with that pre-order. Like, I say pre-order, that made to order. Like, literally. So firstly, just on its own merits, right? On its own merits, they literally took the command squad and made it illegal by taking the grenade launcher guy out. Now, bear in mind, the original command squad came with that grenade launcher model. And they just like... And they very obviously... They very, very obviously were like, we're going to take that guy out so that if people want a functional command squad, they'll need to spend an extra £22. And that's absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, that is, like, unforgivable. Because here's the thing. And I kind of covered this in my video. I was like, well, you know, and a similar thing happened with, like, the infantry squad where they took the heavy bolter out, but then, like, put 2 more basic riflemen in. And it's like... What they've done is they've altered the squads to try and force people to buy more stuff. That's what they've done. And it's so brazen. It's so bullshit. And the reason I mentioned this, like the infantry squad, is because I said in my video, like, well, there's a sort of a perspective you can see here where, like, if they'd put the heavy weapons squad inside the destroying squad, then that would have made it less compatible with, like, the data sheets that we have available now. But then that made me think, like, okay, but if that's what they've done, if they've tried to be nice there, if that's what they've done, then why didn't they give the destroying squad 2 special weapons? Because that would have made it compatible as, like, accounts as Cadian squad or accounts as Catachan squad. They put, like, 2 flamers in there. Like, no one would have really minded if they'd gone, like, oh yeah, here's, like, a flame and a grenade launcher. It's not an optimum loadout for a Cadian squad, but, you know, it is a loadout. It does now work. You know, bolter, chainsword sergeant, flame and grenade launcher. Here you go. But, like, they didn't do that. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is, like, they definitely made purposeful and conscious decisions to change the loadouts of those squads. Because if they'd just gone, oh, this is what used to be made, so we'll just reproduce it in exactly the same way. This Destroying Squad is going to have a Flamer, Heavy Bolter, and a Las Pistol Sergeant. Bear in mind, that's one of the things they didn't bring back. Those of you, some of you may not have realized, they didn't bring back one of the sergeants on Made to Order. They didn't bring back the Las Pistol Sergeant. That was missing. So I don't know what happened there, but they didn't do a complete Made to Order of all the old Destroyer models. And that was another conscious change that they made from... that's another conscious change that they made to the squad as well. So they have purposefully made conscious alterations to the squad. And that means it was a conscious decision to take that grenade launcher guy out of that squad. And therefore, it was a conscious decision to try and... I think it was... The most obvious answer is often the right one. And the most obvious answer is they took that guy out to try and make more money. Why else would he be missing? Now, someone might say, oh, but if you look at the website, it just says like Destroyer Command. So maybe like when they were like making it, they just like looked through the archives of, you know, the old Command models and then went, oh yeah, we'll just put that up. And it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't slide. Like, I'm not gonna let a, oh, maybe they just made a mistake slide. Okay, I'm not gonna let that happen. Because if you just Google Destroyer Command Squad, the box comes up and it has all the models on it. I'll literally prove it to you right now. Okay. Destroyer Firstborn Command Squad. Go on Google Images. 1 second. So not only have you got like multiple like pictures from like the community that you can see, right? To bear in mind, they also didn't include the casualty model that's meant to come with the medic. So it's actually 2 models they took out of the squad, just saying. But also, oh look, there's the box. And what's that on the front of the box? Oh yeah, a grenade launcher guy. So I'm sorry, GW, but like you don't, you know, either you are grossly incompetent, like you're, like someone has massively fucked up, at which point that doesn't let you off. You don't get let off because you made a mistake. You get lambasted because you made a mistake. Or you're an absolute scummy, scheming bastard who was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take one of the models out so that way, if someone wants like a legit command squad, they're going to have to like spend an extra 22 quid / $35. It's fucking it's either way, it's just like ridiculous, unconscionable, just ridiculous. Yeah, it's just bad, man. Snow PC, incompetence is indistinguishable from malice. Exactly. Maybe it's maliciously incompetent. I don't fucking know. But either way, it's... Yeah, it's a fucking piss take, man. And like... It's just... And then you've got, like I said, then you've got the fact that they took the heavy bolter out from the infantry squad and then want to charge you like 25 quid for that. And then you've got the fact that the destroying platoon like doesn't even work because the squads have sergeants that they can't use, like the Power Fist Sergeant, for example. You know, like, yeah, it's just like, so if you wanted to like use these models if you want to like actually use these models, you've got to like spend, if you buy it from Games Workshop, the bare minimum that you have to do to actually use these models is spend like an extra like £66. And realistically, if you want to like get these optimized, you need to be spending another 25 quid on top of that. So you can run some, not even optimized, so you can run like a sniper and a flamer in each squad, have the right sergeant that's compatible in each squad, and have an extra bloke from the command squad. Like, yeah, $300 is what I could figure to make it work. Snipers plus chainsaw commander. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're looking at like you're looking at 200 quid, $300. And that's to make like one platoon work. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So King Hazard, I am absolutely, there with you. Like, the Destroying Platoon, it was nice as a made to order, and I think it was cool to see them come back, but it really saddened me that it feels like the corruption, the rot of corpo greed has infected every corner of Games Workshop. Every corner. And FOVM makes a great point. And then if it was a Acadian Command Squad and Krieg squads, they couldn't even attach. Great point. So you'd have to get another... Actually, that's a great point. So then you're going to have to get... So what you actually have to do is take... You need to then get another character, another model, for the command squad to make it a 6-man command squad. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? So, you are looking at more like you're looking at $250, $350. 250 quid, $350. Yeah. And it's just like, well, going back to the whole greed thing, like, it just annoys me because, and I've been saying this for a little while now, I can never get, and so I know I've talked about the Destroyers before, so I don't want people thinking I'm like just doing the same topic again. I want to talk about this rot, this corruption for a moment, and I want to talk about how it has really, like, I talk about the big picture impact of like what this has done to me as a wargamer and what it's done to many people in the community. And I've sort of hinted at this before, like here and there in other videos, but I don't think I've just like said it, which is I just can't get unreservedly excited for anything GW does these days. And it's not that I don't want to get excited. I want to, but I can't. Because every single release that GW does, even if it looks amazing at first, even if it looks incredible at first, do you know what happens? At some point, the other shoe drops. We saw it. Oh, I'm really, really excited for the Hippogriff. Oh, the weapons are dog shit. Oh, I'm really, really excited for the Centaur. Oh, they fucked its points. I'm really excited for Yarrick. Ah, they fucking nerfed him into oblivion. Oh, I'm really excited for Lord Marshal Dreer. Oh, he's been dog shit for 18 months. Oh, I'm really excited for the Destroying Firstborn pre-order. Oh, they fucking dicked around with all the squads to try and money grub more out of us. Like, you can even outside of 40k. Oh, Warhammer Quest Darkwater sounds like an interesting idea. Oh, they made it Age of Sigmar, which, sorry to be a bit mean, but that was a bit of a dampener. And then, oh, it turns out the game's a giant bag of shit and doesn't even work, and you have to homebrew it to make it work. Oh, so glad that I spent £160 on this premium product. The other shoe dropped. Does this make sense? Like, oh, I'm really excited for the new Defiler. Oh, they're utterly busted and they're like ruining the metagame of the last 3 months of the metagame of 11th edition, of 10th edition. And that baggage is absolutely coming into 11th edition Wizards. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm really excited for the 11th edition box set. Oh, like half the models in it are boring as fuck. I'm not interested in them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's never a moment when I can just go, this is good through and through. There's no other shoe coming here. It's just good. Like, and they could have done that with the Vestroyan. They could have done that with the Vestroyan pre-order. Even if they look, even with the extortionate prices, they could have made us like unreservedly excited. They could have put that grenade. They could have kept that grenade launcher guy in the command squad. They could have put 2 special weapons in those infantry squads. That's all it would have taken. Literally. Even with the 25-pound heavy weapon teams, even with the 22-pound... Oh, and also made the squads in the... So, 3 things they could have done. 3 tiny changes. Cosmic, I love it. They could have had the grenade launcher in the command squad. They could have had a grenade launcher or an extra special weapon of whatever they wanted in each of the infantry squads, that, you know, the standalone ones. And then when it came to the Vestroyan platoon, they could have had the sergeants be legal for those loadouts, for those squads, not the Parfis guy. Like, you have your 3 las cannons. This is what the Vestroyan platoon should have been. 3 las cannons, 2 10-man squads with bolt pistol and chainsword, grenade launcher and flamer, and then a command squad with the grenade, with those 4 models and the grenade launcher and the casualty guy. Fuck it, why not? That's like literally, they've not even had to like give us the optimum loadout. They've not had to make, you know, because the optimum loadout's obviously like melter gun and plasma gun. They never made a melter gun figure, so I'm not even asking them to like conjure something new. I'm not even asking them to like put effort in. I'm not even asking them to put effort in. I'm just asking them to not be shitty. But they did put effort in. But the effort they put in was to make the offering worse. And that's why, like, I want to be excited for the Vestroyans. I really do. And, you know, that's why I made my original, like, video with them. Because I was like, you know, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. But, you know, if I do make a stream highlight of this, it'll come out after that. So hopefully it won't upset anybody. You know, I wanted to let people, you know, have their excitement, have their hype and everything. I don't want to fucking ruin someone's day. But, like, just saying, like, now, I just, with Vestroyan pre-order specifically, and with 40k and everything GW does, generally, big picture style, I just think it's so sad that we've got to this point where, like, every single release and offering that GW does, you can't just be 100% excited for it, because you know with 100% certainty there's going to be chicanery. There's going to be a problem with it, one way or another. And yeah, it's just a nightmare. And if you want to get really pissed off, you should see how much they charged for the some of the previous made to orders they did. So, see, I've been in this game a long time, boys. I should have mentioned this earlier. I'll tack this on to the end here. I've been in this game a long time, and I was there 5 or 6 years ago. Wasn't that long ago. I think it must have been 9th edition, because the Metal Guard regiments were still available for sale in 8th edition. So I was there in 9th edition when GW did the Valhallan Ice Warrior pre-order. I keep saying pre-order. Valhallan Ice Warrior made to order. I was there when they did the Valhallan platoon. That included 2 10-man squads and an officer. Not a command squad, to be fair. And an officer. And 3 Valhallan autocannon teams. And do you want to know how much that made to order was for that platoon? $100. It was £75 from GW or something. I found the price. I went back and found the prices. So I don't know. So the last made to order they did for the Helens was actually pretty good. The Steel Legion one was pretty extortionate, but not as bad. And the Destroying ones was horrific. And the thing is, I know a bunch of people are going to run in here, and the legion of I call them the legion of fanatics, the people that you know the meme, leave the $1 billion company alone. Even if you want to say that, well, times have changed, inflation, it's bollocks. And I think you know it's bollocks. And I think you know you're just arguing to be contrarian. But anyway, whatever. Even if we don't argue over the price, I don't think you can defend them taking models out. I don't think you can defend them offering a platoon with specifically missing models and incompatible models. I don't think you can defend that. And there you are. Anyway, with all that said, let's take a look at some other stuff here. What have we got? So there you go. Is that a nice bit of salt for your King Hazard? I hope you enjoyed it. Macon, thank you for super chat. Thoughts on the Space Marine Desolation Squad in 11th edition? I don't know really what it does, to be honest. I remember Desolation Squads for a brief moment were absolutely fucking cracked. But that was at end of 9th. They've been dog shit for like 3 years now. £200 for 5 Marines is a pretty hard sell. Castellan Launcher. Why are these guys 200 points? Why are these guys 200 points? They're terrible. So I don't really care about the super frag launcher because it was target optics too. Wait, so they're 200 points because they fired D3 bolter shots indirect fire? Wow. Yeah, no, okay. My thoughts are these are fucking awful. These are beyond fucking awful. Yeah. Yeah, they're bad. I don't even think the super crack means anything. Nope. I suppose they might get a little better in 11th edition with the change to heavy. Like, they could move 3 inches, hit on 3s. It's only strength 10, AP minus 2, damage D6 plus 1. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. So right now in 10th, I think they're absolutely unfathomably dog shit. I think in 11th, they might get a bit better. Do I think they're going to get 200 points better? Do I fuck? There you go. What do we got here? We've got Commander HHL. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, baby. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Thank you for 10 gifted memberships. I think you guys want to do a manhunt for Mad Larkin. I mean, I'm a little concerned. Look, I'll never stop the chat from doing what the chat wants to do. I am the people's glory. But I will say that I am already 22 minutes over when I was meant to go to bed. So it might be that we do. Could I put forth to the right honourable gentleman of the Manhunting Society that we try and do the Mad Larkin man? I know we don't normally do these things like scheduled or anything, but could we consider doing it either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday next week? And the reason why I say whichever day it happens naturally on, and the reason why I mention it is because on Monday it'll be a catch-up stream. That's always the way, right? And Friday, I think I'm at a tournament on the weekend, so that might be another sort of shorter stream. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, open season. All right? Does that sound reasonable? I hope so. But hey, if you guys want to go fucking ape and do it now, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. So, Commander HL, thank you for taking to memberships. Also, big thank you to Margaret Talibalan, Deustal. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships as well. Amazing. And thank you for being part of the sort of the pre-manhunt, instead of the pre-drinks, as it were. A big shout out to Marco. Marco, big thank you to you for the 10 gifted memberships, baby. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Thank you so much, man. And a big thank you. Marco's in 20 memberships actually tonight. So big. He's been recruiting like a motherfucker. And then we've got Commander HHL. Thank you for the gifted membership, sir. Thank you for your support. And thank you for another membership, actually. You've been doing well on the recruiting front tonight as well, bro. Thank you. And we've got the Lower Decks. The Lower Decks. Thank you for the gifted membership, sir. Thank you for your support. Thank you for doing your part. And then we've got we've got a whole bunch of super stickers coming in, haven't we? Fuck no. Let me see. All right, we'll get to those in a second. We've got Cosmic Drew. Thank you for super chat. I painted another Axis army. Just about done. Check stream discussion. Let's have a look, man. In the meantime, I have painted this truck. Like I said, I'm in a friend's day, and now that means all my axe models are completely done. There's only two things I'd really want to get for my army: a giant super walker and some wolves, and then arm them up Bohemian style. But other than that, I've completed my second K-47 army. One of these days, I'll bring them all out of the box to take a picture. Yeah, dude, we need the family photo. Dude, I love it, man. You've been smashing it. Yes. The Bohemian, the Baron's personal pimp wagon. There we are. That's cool, man. But no, you're absolutely right. You know, a big walker and some Shrek Wolfen, and you'll be sitting pretty for sure, man. Nice. I would say you should get a plastic Wotan, but I don't think they're coming out for a little while. Well, I don't. They're definitely not coming out this year, as far as I'm aware. Warlord did say to me, they dropped me a little bit of info this today, which I can probably mention, but there's going to be at the beginning of next year, so we're going to get another 6 or 7 plastic kits. So maybe we'll get a plastic Wotan then, but I don't know. All right. Chicken Detonator, thank you for super chat. How grenade launchers should be in stream discussion. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look.
You could put somebody's eye out with that thing.
I love the Ace Ventura reference. Let me put this so I can hear it a bit better. Oh, I love the reference. I love it. Chitty! Like a glove?
The Grenadier!
Yes, Satan?
How can the enemy take cover when there is no cover?
Take care now. Bye-bye, then.
Laser. I watched Ace Ventura and Nature Calls so many times as a kid. It's one of my favorite movies. Not because it's a necessarily good movie, just because I grew up watching it a lot.
Oh, yes we can, because that's the M203 grenade launcher, also known as Uncle Sam's Noob Tube. And she fires 40 Mike rounds, which, by the way, is quite the capable cartridge.
This is a lovely room of death.
Capable of crowd control, target illumination, and of course, denying the enemy their use of cover. Oh no!
Like a glove.
Grenadier. And you must be
He's the Monopoly
Navy
guy.
SEAL guy.
Oh, they changed it.
2006, Ramadi. You're a 19-year-old grenadier attached to Task Unit Bruiser. And you've been awake for 96 hours. Good. Sleep was never standard issue.
Sleep was never standard issue. I love that.
Did your Bradley go down? Your canteen did too. Good. Water's for the weak. You get ticked up by enemy insurgents. Cass just went bingo fuel. And now you're outnumbered 70 to 1. Good.
Good.
Target-rich environment. And because you practice extreme ownership, your M203
Good.
already has them sighted. Good.
Good.
Their cover's useless.
I love the Zen.
Those podcast enjoying bro vets choose dippable free workout. And I guess Jocko fuel too. For their slight morale improvement. Because although we can't get your Bradley greened up, we can raise your morale. Slightly.
Fuck's sake. That was quite good. I'll give you that one. Oops. Yeah, I'll give you that one. That was quite good. All right. Good. All right. What do we got next? King Hazard, thank you for super chat. Just checked eBay, actually cheap second hand. Yeah. GW was like, let's go on eBay and just nick those prices and then add in the GW magic. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. This is why, like, you know, I touched upon the whole like recasting thing in my video. I was just like, you know, it has to be. I didn't want to because I don't want to be. I don't want to be like recast because I know some people get very, you know, uppity about that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm not just gonna like pretend it doesn't exist. And I think at the end of the day, like, if GW is gonna, I'll say this: If GW hadn't pulled any chicanery with that Destroyer pre-order, I wouldn't have mentioned recasting. I would have been like, no, this is exciting, and we should look at this in the positive way. But GW tried to pull some shit. So I didn't endorse recasting. I didn't condone it. I didn't lambast it. I didn't demonize it. I merely mentioned it. There you are. Mad Larkin, we're going to do the manhunt on Tuesday. Okay? Unless people really want to do it now, we're going to do it on Tuesday. Because I need to go to bed now. All right? All right. Now, I have to say a big thank you. Because we have a whole bunch of people who went absolutely bonkers with the super stickers. I absolutely love it. So shout out to Cosmic for the banana super sticker and the peach super sticker. I love that anytime I go on a rant now, Cosmic can actually put a banana and up my bum in stream. I also say a big thank you to Macon for the beef sticker. Amazing, man. Chris K, thank you for the here super sticker, which I imagine means you're like, here, like part of the, endorsing the rant. Snow Peace T, thank you for the angry face super sticker. Love that, mate. Chris K, thank you for the smiley sticker. Awesome, man. Mark Telemann, thank you for the salt. And Snow Peace T, thank you for the salt. Double salty, boys. And Chris K, thank you for the smiling poo face super sticker as well. Thank you so much, man. Oh my god, are you guys trying to get this fucking manhunt going? Are you guys trying to get this manhunt going? God damn it. Commander HHL, thank you for the gifted membership, sir. And Margaret Talibatland, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Deus Tal. Deus Tal. Oh my god. Look, we'll do the manhunt right at some point. It happens when it happens. And we'll because it's like, it's been a while. Look, okay. It's been a while since we've had a manhunt. And so there's a good chance that it might take a pretty epic manhunt. I don't know, because it's pretty random. But it might take a pretty epic manhunt. So it might be one of those where we have to, like, an epic manhunt requires like an epic prize. Now obviously Mad Larkin is the greatest prize of all. Love you, Pookie. But also I do have I do have 5 super heavy tanks and 3 Rogor Dawns. I've got 2 Bane Blades, 2 Shadow Swords, essentially. And I've got a Macarius. And I've got my 3 Rogor Dawns. So it's one of those where if we do a pretty epic manhunt, we could have a thing where it's like everyone who does, like, if it might not require this much, but if it is going to require quite a lot, and you end up having a lot of people who dive in, or it's going to take a large community effort, I think one way that we could do it, and obviously I've got my Wotan and my Mammoth as well, and K47, so that's the couple we could throw in there for people that are interested in that, and the Rail Tiger as well. So we could have it where it's like everyone who does 50 memberships, total, gets a guardsman gets a guardsman named after them. So you get immortalized in that way. Even if you don't get Mad Larkin, you get the Guardsman. And then from top, the person who gets Mad Larkin gets to like pick whatever model. They're going to name whatever model they want. Including Baneblade, Super Heavies. Like, they could pick a Baneblade and they can name it whatever they want, and I will write that name on that Baneblade. Like, doesn't matter. You can call it Boaty McBoatface, Baney McBaneface, or name it after yourself. Doesn't matter. Like, you can name it. And then we work our way down from that. So, who got Mad Larkin? Okay. Who gave the most memberships in total? Okay, they get to name the next thing, and then work down with potentially like so. There's like everyone gets at least everyone. Oh, I've got another super. I've got the Shatterlord as well, actually. So it's like everyone who does 50 gets at least a Guardsman named after them, and then we've got like 10 super heavies and large tanks that the top 10 people in the Manhunt also get to name something. So that way, because it might, like I said, it could take a lot of membership. We're talking hundreds, right? It could. So it's one of those where it's like, it's one of those where if it is going to be a potentially an epic manhunt, then epic manhunts may require epic rewards, epic prizes. Yeah. Hey, I thought the Shatterlord was its name. I mean, the Shatterlord is, of course, its name, Cosmic, but if it, it can have more than one name. No, it can have its unofficial name and its official name. Yeah. So, and it might be that, someone doesn't choose the Shatterlord or something, But yeah, it's one of those where it's worth thinking. And it'd be so funny if like it just happens in like the first like 50 memberships, because it can be very random. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, well, shall we say next Wednesday for the Mad Larkin manhunt? If people, if people are up for it, and we can make a big thing out of it, that'd be kind of fun. And if we do an absolutely Herculean effort and we still don't get him just because of the nature of the YouTube algorithm, well, the gifting membership algorithm, we can still, if we do have an absolutely amazing effort, we can still make sure everyone at the very least gets a Guardsman named after them, right? We can still do that. All right. We could do it next week. I mean, what day is next Wednesday? We could do it next Wednesday. We could do it any, like I said, we could do it any Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whichever one works out. So we'll pencil in Wednesday, and if there's any updates, we'll discuss it on stream. Yeah, and it could be a multi-day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It could be a multi-day manhunt. If we don't get him day one, maybe it rolls over to the next day. Maybe it keeps rolling, we'll see. Yeah. All right. There you go. Okay. What have we got here? Got a couple of super chats coming in. We had Commander Joe Mark Land. Big shout out to Chris K. Thank you for the gift of membership, sir. Thank you for the support. And Commander HHL, thank you for the super chat. About Mad Larkin, some say under his sunglasses is another pair of sunglasses. I mean, that would make sense. It's because he's got like really gammy eyes, so he has to like cover them up. Otherwise, people get grossed out. Any opportunity to be mean to Mad Larkin. All righty, ho ho. Gentlemen, I think that is just about everything. So to sum this crazy stream up, It feels weird stopping the stream after like 3 hours and 40 minutes. I feel like we're just getting started, but there you are. King Hazard, thank you so much. Go, I'm going. The sum it all up. Massive thank you to Warlord for the mystery box. Holy shit, B for Bertie is amazing. He's an absolute fucking beast in real life. The new plastic automated inventory are incredible. Absolutely love them. And the commander looks amazing, and the plastic heavy weapon teams look amazing, and the Hannibal box set looks absolutely amazing. And just a massive shout out to Warlord for all the support. And speaking of support, a massive for those that didn't see it, I'll show you the big bit. Warlord sent me this thing, plus a lot of other stuff. Look at the size of it. It's actually bonkers. Just for Craig and the others that only just got here. There you are. But massive shout out to Warlord for that. And a massive thank you to all of you guys who joined today's stream. A massive thank you to all of you who liked the stream. A massive thank you to all of you who chatted away. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you who went above and beyond the call of duty. Coming in with all the super chats, the member flexes, the gifted memberships, and all of that good stuff. Thank you. And I do need to get the song ready, the Bertie song. I think I can play it if it got sent to me. It did. There we go. I've got it. All right. And so, oh, it is epic scale as well. Someone's asking in chat. There we go. Alfarius, Morning Glory, before you go, Invasion America teasers and preview shouldn't be far off now, right? Please, I need it. 1 minute. I'll check the date. Ooh. One minute. I can't say too much. I will say, I'll tell you what, I'll just tell you. Tune in to Tuesday's stream. I'll be able to tell you guys some stuff then. For Invasion America, I'll be able to tell you some stuff then. All right? All right. Oh, wait 1 second. No, okay. I can't actually next Tuesday I can't tell you too much. I can tell you something next Tuesday. All right? I can't tell you any rules, but I can tell you something next Tuesday. All right? I can start telling you some rules, but it won't be until it won't be for 3 weeks. Yeah, so you gotta wait 2 or 3 weeks for me to be able to. You gotta wait about 2 or 3 weeks before I can tell you some rules. But you've next week I can tell you tell you some bits and bobs. All right. Sorry. Look, I wish that I could tell you it right now. I wish I could, but you're gonna have to wait until June. You gotta wait until mid-June. All right. All right. Cosmic Dream, thanks for super chat. Double or nothing. We get Mad Larkin or he gets banned. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Okay. Either we get Mad Larkin or he gets permabanned. That would be hilarious. I'll think about it, Cosmic. I'll think about it. All right? I'll think about it. All right. On that note, thank you all for watching. You guys are amazing. Have a great weekend. I might do a couple of bonus streams over the weekend, depending on how knackered I am. But if not, I will see you all on Monday. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.
Smoke on the hill, blueprints in mud, number half written, dog tag on the flood, on a crate in the shadows, a faint light glow, green eyes like embers, and a chipped red pen. Rolling through the dark, smashed up plates, steal around a spark, pulling broken bodies from the jaws of shellfires around. Sails and guns and saving sons. Then she's gone to another Helens too close. White flash, then black. Hit the mud. Flat on their back. Before they fail, before they crack. Up you get less. I've got your backs. She drags them through the wreckage, down low into the trench. Just her tracks in the crater and a hollow metal plague. Broke bridge bought, rolling through the dark. Smudged up plates, steal around the spark. Pulling broken bodies from the jaws of shellfire roar. Silence and guns, it's saving sons. Then she's gone to another world. They curse her in briefing rooms. Who rewrote this scrap? But coders trace a beacon and a passworded map.